How you drove those?
It just keeps me from like picking
Hi everybody!
Oh wow, did that keep me did that?
I mean, we've been live for like, I don't know, half a minute.
Hi! Welcome to the Bang Bang.
Yeah, right. Tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, tip of... I am Didact of Rivet City Limited, also known as Barton, your internet fiend. And I'm here to play some Dungeons and Dragons with who I would consider my friends, I suppose.
You do care.
Not about you, dead man. To my right,
Hola.
Loxodon Barbarian, Guntar.
Hello.
To the right of my right, Loxodon Paladin, Dover. To my left, to the left, everything you own to the box to the left, and get out the fuck of my apartment so you don't live here anymore. Centaur Sorceress, Arcadia.
Oh, that hit me a little bit more than it should have.
And a dead man. On the left of my left.
Hey, you claimed for me to be a dead man last week. Here I am, motherfucker.
You surprisingly survived. For those of you who are uninitiated, hashtag not a cop, Varus. Wood Elf Ranger. So yeah, last week was fun.
Wait, I have a question quickly.
No, you don't.
I have a character question.
Okay.
Okay, so for the fuck counter.
This is not a thing.
No.
It's not a thing that I'm doing.
So,
last week was fun.
I agree.
Yeah. It was a sphincter one.
It was.
We puckered back.
It was a Halloween in March.
Yeah. Say that again.
It was a good Halloween episode.
Spooky.
Spooky.
2 spooky, 5 me, or 3 spooky, 5 me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very spooky. Y'all were in the totally not haunted ass bank.
Not haunted.
Totally not haunted ass bank.
I think that's what Sean described it as. Totally not haunted, man.
No, he was fucking scared shitless of that place. He didn't want anything to do with it. If you remember.
I'm scared shitless of that place.
Yeah, you are.
I am too.
Well, I mean, so let's do some inventory. You went inside this place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did.
Yep.
And like it was pretty much empty, but reeked of absolute murder.
I mean, empty quotation marks.
Smelled of death. Smelled of death. It was very on brand for the Orzhov.
And a little bit of mercury smell.
You know,
Copper.
a little bit.
A little xeno-y.
Yeah.
Rusticino.
You guys walked through this seemingly abandoned locale.
It was.
It wasn't. Seemingly abandoned.
It wasn't abandoned.
Seemingly abandoned. You don't need to put air quotes on abandoned if you say seemingly.
Sure.
Okay, will this appease you? You walk through the abandoned,
or
I could say seemingly abandoned, and actually, you know, for those of you on the audio podcast, air quotes, heavy air quotes.
How we piss off our DM before we even start?
You did it last week, and look where it got you.
Hey, I survived.
Barely.
I'll take it.
Okay, do you want to share for the class how you are barely alive at the beginning of today's
Yes,
game?
I will. I have notes. So, as we were going through this Bank of the Undercity, as it was so deemed, we came across a huge mine trucking statue. That is we're getting there. It's 3 floors big. It's about 90 feet from what we gathered. From
6 floors.
6 floors.
It was 60. It was a 60 footer.
Oh.
Because it was 3 floors down and another 3
Oh,
floors
yeah,
up.
yes. We came in the middle level. You're completely right. We only went up.
Yep.
We only went up 60 feet. Okay, sweet. It was an angel of not what we are used to, or some of our more religious folks in the party were used to. It looked normal at first, and then we looked away, and then looked back, and it changed. What turned out to be an angel of despair, an accountant for the Orzhov, and seemingly no choice left but to give up their souls for free passage. Guntar challenged this angel not to a battle herself, but to send a champion down for their passage. Varys was like, "I want to join."
I want to fight too, guys.
Guntar was like, "Sure, man, let's do it."
And Dobrin and Arcadia are like,
Nah, they stayed in the back, which is probably smart. We got there. We got the hood figure did necrotic damage. It fucked me up. But we got through the fight and we won a mysterious silver dagger that we will probably learn more about, hopefully. Because I didn't get much written down about it because I was like, we survived.
That's right. I forgot. Everyone in here had shiny dagger.
So we got through the door and that's where we ended the session.
All right, yeah, that is very much so where you guys are at currently. It is so you guys came out of this hexagonal room which served as a makeshift arena, which had been used for essentially Orzhov
Spirit Council.
Spirit councils, yes, which are kind of the back end board meetings rather than the tithes and ceremony that they would have during their essentially church services. Because the Orzhov are weird. They're dead, but they have church services. Like they're like dead Catholics. I realize I said two of the same words right next to each other.
"You're
And we just lost all of our Catholic viewers.
And we
It's
lost the
clearly
entire
just down here,
population of Italy.
Oh, too bad.
And Mexico.
Higher papal
And-
eminence.
Yeah, literally.
He's a big D&D guy.
Not, fun fact about the Pope. He's a huge fan of D&D.
He's got a hell of a Dragonborn paladin rolled up, I'll tell you.
Could you imagine a campaign ran by the Pope? Oh my God, that sounds
Tabletop.
amazing.
Tabletop.
Have you read the Bible?
So this random encounter was?
Yeah, right.
Bears eating
I
children.
mean, David and Goliath
Oh, that's
is
awesome.
a case of
Was
successive
it?
nat 20s and a bluff check.
Does that mean Jesus is a saving throw?
Yeah, yeah. He made his.
No, he's a monk.
He's a lich.
I can
He
see that
was.
more.
Okay, this
Yeah.
debate, tabletop.
Tabletop.
Yeah, right.
Alright, moving on.
So, speaking of undead things,
Me?
you're not undead yet. I can arrange it though. I have your character sheet right here. I can change it. The deal you struck with this Death Pact Angel of Despair.
Oh God, what did we do?
Did you forgot about that when we?
No, I remember that it was for our souls, and I would give up mine if I lost the fight. From what I remember.
The cost of safe passage to
Yes.
the surface, as she described it to you, was payable upon death,
Mm-hmm.
which she intended to collect immediately, which is why you had that fight.
Okay.
So,
But semantics mean that potentially, because we didn't confirm first,
I probably should
might
have.
still happen if you die ever.
you are still in debt to the Orzhov.
Ooh.
You are.
You are.
And Varys.
Varys possibly.
Ooh. See.
Because he said, sure, me too.
Yeah,
Dobrin
see.
and Arcadia said nothing.
See, that might just lead to some situations down the road.
Yeah, so that's what you're looking at right now. But this fight has concluded. The Spirit Council, as it were, has dispersed, and the doorway at the opposite end where there was no doorway has slid open, revealing another room at the back with a stairway to the top of the tower, which presumably will get you back to the city proper.
Could you say it's a stairway to heaven?
I mean, I could drop you to -1 hit points. They could drag you up, and you can choose to fail 3 death saves as you reach the top.
That is possible.
That is.
Just trips 3 times.
This is D&D.
I lift them up, drop them.
Do we have to like make rolls to get successfully up these really steep grade stairs?
Why'd you have to say
Well, no,
that?
it's not steep grade stairs.
It's not horse awkward.
It's not awkward for horse people to get up these stairs. And if you are above 0 hit points, you can move under your own power.
Yeah, no, I'm moving under my own power. I've definitely got a whole like he looks like shit kind of vibe going on, but I'm
Barely made it out, man.
I'm looking prideful
As you're limping.
as I'm limping, but you guys only hear just
How was a good fight?
but inside I have an entirely eternal different dialogue going on. Something like that.
Let's play some D&D. What do you guys want to do? It's in your hands at this point.
We're at the bottom of the
You're at the
stairs.
bottom of the stairs.
I say we get the fuck out of here.
We start
Yes,
proceeding.
continue.
Does the doors close behind us?
No, they stay open.
Is the angel still there?
Not that you
Let me see.
see, because she had ascended back
Yeah,
to her
okay, cool.
her organization 13 chair.
I was just making sure none of them more throw things around. I hate them bastards.
Yeah, no,
They are scary.
she is not sending
Sweet.
she is not sending chase.
Do you need assistance up the stairs? You okay?
I can get up.
Friend?
I might need a nap or something though, because that was a good dude. That guy he touched me and I felt like death. I mean I killed things before.
Gangrene just started.
Yeah, I know, right? You see the black scars? I mean, it looks cool, but I feel like shit. I must admit. Let's
Well,
let's get up into
yeah,
some
let's
Let's
sunshine.
just keep you alive.
hey, one day.
Let's get some fresh air.
Yeah, it still reeks of death.
Let us make our way up to the top side.
I'll actually go in the front if Dobrin, you want to go in the back so we can keep the injured party in the middle.
Yeah, I walk very boastfully, but I'm looking like shit.
You are willingly letting someone else lead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will
Do you need
do
some
regardless.
healing?
How are you looking?
I feel like hammered shit.
If we're gonna get a long rest or something.
I'm at 4.
Okay.
Yeah, what are we gonna find upon?
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Alright, we're slowly
Everyone
going
look
up. We've
really-
got border party would be Arcadia, then Woodcarnveris, and then
Government at the back.
Dobrin's at the back.
So something like yay.
Yes.
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 Seems reasonable.
Seems reasonable.
That way, if Mutar needs
The
to
baddies
lean
are-
on me, he can.
Way
Lean
over
on
here
me.
now.
Yep.
So, don't be afraid to lean on me if you need support.
It's okay.
Okay.
Basically, Dobrin's pushing you up the steps.
I mean, I'm walking. I'm just like
I think one more hit
hand
point.
on
might
railing,
take him
like, other hand on leg, like just limping up the stairs as much as I can.
You took it easy on the fight. What are you looking for?
He's a tiny little stick.
Yeah, little
I'm
wood.
squishy.
Little wood man. Alright, that hurt. That laugh hurt.
Is it dark in the? Was it dark in the stairwell, or
Yeah, I mean it doesn't open directly into.
so there's no lights or anything?
Yeah, it's,
But I can see at least.
yeah.
Am I still bright light? Because I was light during that fight.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, you still have the light.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
so you're
you still have
How
that.
the bruise looks with the light on it. June starts doing that as
So we have plenty of light for those of us that don't see it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as we proceed, are we at the pinnacle of the stairs?
Yeah, we're just trudging up.
Sure. As you make it towards the top of these stairs, I would like a perception, please.
17.
14.
4.
Alright.
You rolled a nat one.
Was that in that one?
It's very quiet for you.
That scares
But who
me.
was over 10?
I was 17.
Those two. So the two of you,
The guards.
the guards.
That's
Once you
good,
did-
though.
Yeah, that makes
Let's
sense.
be honest, that's good.
Yeah, the lookouts for this squad. You guys hear rushing water as you are ascending. It's large volumes of water.
Like where we started.
Uh,
Before we entered the city.
more
More than that?
than that.
Okay.
A lot more than that.
Okay.
Close by, like right at the top of the stairs.
It's muffled, so it's
Like
not
behind a wall.
yeah, behind a wall, but it's
There.
but it's there. And with your knowledge of
The sewer
Of-
in the city.
the infrastructure of the city, you know that a volume of water that the sound that you're hearing is takes a lot to make that much noise through that thick of rock.
Okay, so would I recognize like
You don't recognize where you guys are in relation to.
water, but I know that it is a water source.
Yeah.
And this would be like in District 4 still.
You don't know if you're.
Don't know because there's multiple water sources. They're all around all
Okay.
10.
And there's
10
nothing that.
There are.
Is it 10 or 14?
There's 10 there's 14 districts, but I believe there are only 8 precincts. Let me double check.
Because we're within District
You're
10.
You're in District 10, which has several precincts.
Yes. Because we're in Precinct 4, correct?
6 precincts.
6.
There are 6 precincts in District 10.
And we're in 4th precinct.
That's where you started.
That's where we started. Was fourth.
Okay.
Started
Where was
near my
Birkin?
house.
Birkins is in the 4th.
Near my house.
Okay.
Near your house,
And the last
his
place
house,
that-
his
My
house.
house.
The place that we
Relatively.
got our mission originally was
Was also in the 4th.
also.
Like
in
we
the
were
fourth.
just like
Because
And that dude
my
was on
garrison's
his
also
way-
in the 4th.
To where?
it was somewhere in the 4th, wasn't it? The slaughter.
How did we end up in the? Okay.
Everything was in the 4th. That's
Where
From
everything
where
that's
we
happened
started
is in the
everything.
4th.
yes.
Everything that has
Found
happened
trees
so
in the
far,
fourth.
you have been in the fourth precinct.
Was
fourth.
the Undercity technically 4th?
Undercity is Undercity.
Undercity is
Right.
Undercity.
I assume
It's
it's a different
not.
one.
Yeah, they don't. Once another level of strata is applied to Ravnica, they don't track what's beneath anymore.
Okay.
That it once it is under,
So
it is
the
considered
Orzhov-
Undercity.
Are also elsewhere in a different
Right. There are different Orzovian outposts.
enclaves.
Yep.
Okay.
Um,
And I don't know of any Selesnian enclaves anywhere near crazy rushing water. Anywhere near Precinct 4. This is like, for some reason, something I have at my disposal, but I don't know how to use
which
my knowledge of Selesnia enclaves.
it would be where.
They're all pretty happy to see me, because I'm Selesnian.
Yeah, it would be pretty much anywhere, like,
In
the
nature.
communication is very druidic for the Selesnian. So it's a lot of communicating through like the tree system, essentially.
You are the Lorax.
Essentially, yeah,
Lorax.
you're the Lorax, but essentially you can like put your hand on a tree and be able to, because of your Selesnian seal,
Mhm.
you're able to communicate through the trees.
Tree talk.
Any
basically-
trees anywhere near us?
You're still underground.
Darn it. These stairs
There's
didn't
no
go as,
underground trees.
No.
these
No,
stairs didn't go as high as those.
there's
ones.
giant mushrooms, but they're back through the
Mushrooms
creepy.
don't count.
Are there no
not-
roots where we are?
Mushrooms
Did they tell us of this rushing water?
I hear water.
I'm still like trying to pinpoint. I'm like, all right, I know there's a lot of water. I'm just trying to figure out if the door's gonna open out into the water.
I mean, worst
or
case
just next to
scenario.
it.
Everyone just hang on.
Could
while
we
we open.
Are we near the waterworks?
make a survival or a investigation to figure out that? If we open this door, would we be rushing into the water?
I mean, it would essentially be a check to see if it is like if you were to use nature, it would be to determine like to examine the your surroundings.
Oh, my
essentially.
nature's super high.
Which would be like to determine, you know, the dampness or age of the stone.
I'll do a nature check for that.
Sure.
Oh, 7.
Yeah, it's just
Are we at the door? Are we at a door?
Oh,
yeah.
there's no
You're
water
there
here.
is a it's kind of a hatchway up.
All right. So do I hear the water through there, or is it just an omni?
It's kind of just omnipresent.
Okay, so I can't really just listen at the door and see.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna actually, because it's just right above you, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, stand back. I'm gonna try opening the hatch.
Everyone hang on to each other or something that's not moving.
Alright.
Is it a ladder up and out?
No.
I mean, I'm in the back anyway, so I just
I'm
like.
gonna hold on to
I just
blocks of
stand-
dots.
No, you don't. I've knocked
Yeah.
this game off me.
All right.
All right, well,
You have disgraced me.
No.
he has to
Alright.
bump into me before he
So-
I
closes.
just have a
Is it
bruise there,
just
fam.
a
Don't touch me.
Push it.
You would assume, at least from what you can see, that it is a push to open.
So it's a push up or a push?
It's like a cellar door
Oh,
almost.
okay. So I push on it.
There's a little bit of give to it, but it doesn't open.
Should I make a strength check to that up?
That would be lovely.
Great. Just a flat strength, or
Yeah. Unless, because I'm guessing you don't have much for athletics,
no.
and there's no way to acrobatically.
I have athletics if this doesn't work.
18.
18. Yeah, absolutely.
I went out!
Just do like a hip check. Yeah.
That's what I got. Like you kind of turn around and just kind of kick at it.
Like,
Yeah.
just one out!
And as you kick it, you hear something, like the doors don't fly open, but they give enough that you hear something break on the other side, and then just kind of boom, boom, back.
Alright,
shut.
so I shovel open.
Yeah. And as you open it up, it's just not misty, but that there's almost a spray that comes down. Like it's not like.
I'm not expecting rushing, but it's not rush, but it's like when the shower, it's off the wall.
Yep. Yeah. Ricochet spray.
Alright, I'm like, Guntar, I need light. Is there light out there, or do I need him for his?
There is. It's dimly lit.
So
with
I get
with
Guntar to light up the
kind of
area.
these blue orbs that are suspended from the ceilings or built into the walls with kind of iron caging around them.
Guntar does a little joke. He puts his cloak on that he has, his little cloak, and he's kind of covering the light, and he goes, "Wah!" The light says,
Did it!
Well, at least we know he's not sick.
"Yeah, guys, like, other than feeling like shit, I feel pretty good. I mean, I'm just saying.
Daytime,
I'm just saying. I'm a little sore though. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, what are we seeing here?
Yeah, so
Feels a little.
I brought Guntar out with me up the platform out there.
Smells funky in here.
Yeah, it's wet, very wet.
Yeah.
Is it? So it's not very light in here because we had to use the light.
Oh, I'm
there's
like,
blue orbs that is dimly lighting up this area, but I wanted better light.
So we're still underground.
Yeah, you guys are still even now underground.
How did we get? What?
But we're up to what looks like
Sir.
a sewer or main water.
Looks like a waterworks of some sort.
Okay.
I knew it.
So that means we'd be close to the surface. Because this would look newer in build.
Yeah. This is definitely out of the Undercity.
Can I, well, over there. You gonna come up here, or we just gonna look around separately?
Yeah, let's go in
Yeah,
as a party.
I'll make my way up.
Shove!
Starts limping. Continues to limp.
Alright, as I'm kind of looking around. What do I see?
So, I mean, you see much the same that
So is
Door, exit, is it just a long
yeah?
hallway?
Can I do like a?
it's almost like a catacombs almost, where it's stone archways with channels of water bridges over.
Can I do a survival with my trunk to try to gauge where the best route up and out would be?
Fresh air.
Fresh air.
To try and find some fresh air. Yeah.
Fresh air. Please. Oh, beautiful nature.
That way. Panda, Paul, do you remember? No, it just smells fresh that way.
So 19.
It isn't 19.
19 plus. What is this? This is survival, right?
Mhm.
Wisdom. Alright, just 19.
Just 19.
Natural 19.
Natural 19. That's actually not too terrible.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not too terrible, pretty good.
You get the sense of a general direction towards where you would need to go up.
And it is.
I mean, it's going to be across.
One of the.
Well, it's going to be across the room essentially,
And up.
and possibly up. Yes.
Gee, I wonder which way we need to go. Oh.
How can we get across this room? It seems like I smell fresh air coming from over there.
You said there was arches over the water?
Yeah, bridges, but like it's like arches and pillars like of this room.
Now that we're out of the smell of the zombie spirit things, do we need to take a quick short rest, or should we heal up? I think I think the wood elf and I are hurting.
I can agree with Guntar
Does
over
it
here.
seem like there's anywhere in here that's like a good place to rest?
I mean, it's just a open room with.
Let's
But there's enough fresh air that methane won't overtake us and we'll all just die
It's
in
not
our
a sewer.
sleep. Okay.
It's not-
It's
fresh
not a
water.
sewer, it's
Okay.
fresh water.
It's waterworks, it's not fresh.
Okay.
It's like an aqueduct type thing going on.
Kinda, yeah.
A lot of the times storm drains occur at the same places as sewers.
And it was
Just
raining.
FYI generally.
It was raining when we came in here.
It was.
When you went underground, yes.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
So we want to nap for a minute then?
I think just an hour short rest could get us a long way.
I agree.
Just to catch our breath
All
real
right.
quick.
Alright friends, I care about you and your health. Let's
I
take a
can't
rest.
for you.
We find a nook somewhere
Towards the fresh air.
well ventilated.
Towards the fresh air. On the other side of the room.
During
Away
the short
from the
rest,
door.
I'm gonna roll in my hit die.
Sure.
Wait, what?
It's plus Constitution modifier, correct?
I believe it's just the,
One hit die.
If it's just the hit die.
Okay, cool.
And I do that as well, I assume.
Yep. If you want to expend hit dice, yes.
Alright,
Hey.
I rolled a 5. What do I do?
So you add 5 back to your.
Okay.
So I'm at as max as I can get.
All right.
I'm at 9.
You're
9
allowed
total?
to use as many hit dice as you have available to you.
Which.
There's 2.
What?
2 at this level.
Yep.
Oh.
2 at this level.
Who else
Is-
has two?
We all do. We're all level 2.
We're all level 2, so we have 2.
Oh, just per level that you
I
have.
am back at
I'm
max.
level 1.
You should be level 2.
Oh, I never updated that when I leveled. That's important.
I am back to max.
Alright. Yuntar still doesn't look 100% right. There's a big, like, almost like, have you seen? Everybody's seen Lord of the Rings, but the White Hand of Saruman. There's almost kind of like a black hand of like death, sort of kind of on his shoulder region that has like this permeation of like this dark and purple, like making his veins kind of pop out. That doesn't really look right.
I'm about to drop a bomb. Have not watched Lord of the Rings.
All right, well, fail. Hey,
All right, everyone.
don't play Destiny tonight. Watch that. Hey.
Right?
All right, B.
Just plan for the next 16 hours to be Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's a good series. But with that being said, Guntar gets up out of the hour. He kind of been sitting down, and he kind of gets up and shakes it, pops his neck, and be like, "All right, Dober, thank you for that. I feel better."
How do you feel?
I feel extremely better.
Good. I like.
Let's
him,
find a way
like
across.
happily, like on the back, kind of like, like
Jovial.
yes, jovial.
100%.
But I want him to take a step forward.
I'm sure, like, I almost, like, eat shit.
Yeah, totally.
But Dobrin catches you and
I'm sure I
Make
put out one foot.
What was that? What was that weapon that you picked up at the end there? You mind if I take a better look at that?
Sure. Like, from what it looks to me is just a very, very, very shiny dagger.
I would like to. Can I make an investigation check on the dagger?
what are you looking for?
I want to look. I remember you said they were prismatic. I kind of want to just look if there's any writing or
Any engravings.
any engravings.
Yeah, so the knife that he hands you is it's almost not quite shaped like a butcher's knife, but it's very much trying to think. If you think like Prince of Persia,
okay.
that curved knife
scimitar
style.
look,
Yeah, that's scimitar look, but it's very short.
Kind of like a karambit.
Yeah, it's a very short knife. The handle seems to be almost made out of. It's made out of the same material as the blade, which is just this kind of silvery metal on top, but underneath, kind of almost superficially underneath, is kind of a pattern, almost like bismuth, which is a very square, prismatic opalescence to it. But the handle itself almost looks like it twists around like another material underneath, which almost has like a red, rusty tinge to it. But it almost seems sinewy in the way it looks off of the blade.
Yep. And do I need to roll to see if I see any engravings or anything?
Yeah, if you're I would do an investigation.
Cool. I got a 12 on the die plus a 0.
12 on the die plus 0. There's no I mean it's a just turning it over, looking at it. There's no markings on the blade itself or on the handle.
Actually, I'd like. Can I look at it?
Of course. Yeah. Two hands on the
I
way.
actually want to do an arcane.
Arcana check?
Arcane.
Or arcana check?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just because I'm like.
And what are you looking for magic wise?
See if I can even recognize it. Like,
Okay.
magically, just like if it's the type that.
If it has some kind of underlying magical property.
Yeah, because like you said, it's that regular metal, and there's something underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Detect magic spell.
Oh.
Nope.
Or make an arcana check.
Door.
Okay, yeah, no.
May I
If you're trying to sense the
roll a religion check?
I'm trying to see if this is cursed or not, or a trap.
You
I mean, you can.
Well, you can do whatever you want.
When we
This
rest,
doesn't
you
drag,
have
so.
divine sense on the blade. Just see if it's
Why?
consecrated or desecrated.
Check.
Yeah, it's just a check. It doesn't cost you anything.
And see if
It's
that's
free
desecrated.
real
Instead
estate.
of wasting a divine sense, if you just do an arcana, right?
You have sense. I mean, you have that
12.
higher, I think.
12.
Yeah.
There's no religious connotation to the blade at all.
Looks like a fine weapon, though. Too bad he didn't get a chance to stab you with it, right? Maybe that's just.
I would like to make sure this thing isn't cursed or tracking us somehow.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have a way to do that?
Divine sense or arcana check?
Pick your poison. We already did an Arcana check on it, so.
Did you roll pretty high? Or?
No.
I'll just do an Arcana check. I don't want to. If I get like a 2 or worse, I'll do a Divine Sense. That's pretty good. 12 maybe? Yeah.
So there's no innate magical quality to this blade at all.
Okay.
It seems, it seems like a mundane
Why
blade.
would an angel have a mundane blade?
The angel
Just
didn't. It
lying
was
around.
the servant that I killed.
Why would the servant have one? Oh, it just had this as a weapon?
It fell out of its spirit essence. As it,
Would
as you killed it.
nature check on it to see if I recognize the metal?
Sure.
Because working in is it?
Yeah. I would almost not even a nature. That'd just be a knowledge.
Intelligence.
Yeah, it'd be just a knowledge intelligence roll.
Okay. Flat 19 if I'm not doing nature.
It doesn't look like any metal that you've worked with.
Ooh.
And I've worked with some.
Mm-hmm. And you've worked with some weird stuff. You have.
I have some weird shit
You
on.
have some weird stuff on you.
And you said it had a scimitar-esque hue to the blade.
It was kind of just a curve to the blade.
What kind of creature dropped it?
So it was dropped by the indentured spirit that Varys and Dobrin fought.
Did we know anything?
You didn't hit it.
I fought it in my brain.
Yeah, you fought it in your head.
You
Did we
you shot the
recognize-
birds.
Would I have to roll knowledge to see if I recognize what
I have
this
your-
person was or
I
anything
use it
about
as
what
a
kind of
ball
weapons they
scratcher.
carry?
Put it in my pocket.
I will require that back.
An indentured spirit is pretty much just
I'll take
just
one
that.
off
It's
my
a
head, of course, and give you another one.
faceless.
This one's mine.
But there's no identifier.
There's no identifier as to who
It was.
this spirit was in its past life.
We don't. Okay, so
And I have.
it's not any kind of thing that would be somehow tracking. Like its friends would be able to track us if we carried this thing around.
Right, you wouldn't. It's
All right.
for
Well,
intents and purposes. To you guys, it's just a really weird ass knife.
okay.
Might I make a suggestion to see if the ones in the armory of the Boros might be able to help us once we get back to the top side?
Yeah.
Might I also make a suggestion? Aurelia doesn't know what you're doing here. Remember that.
I
Where
took a
did
couple
you get
steps
that?
over the bridge.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
Should we forward this?
I send my suggestion.
No, I just be careful what
It
you do.
stands. Just mind the potential
Yeah.
ramifications.
Be
All
smart.
right. What's the best way over? Spot check or perception?
Well, you can
Bridges?
see clearly. It's the bridges over these.
All right, guys,
aqueducts.
to the bridges. Montage.
I would like perception checks.
14.
Please.
14.
Nope, I see nothing.
16.
16. So those of you that did roll overtime, sorry, Arcadia, you're
First time for everything.
yeah. You notice coming from the other far end of the room where you are eventually headed, there is a light coming towards that. It's getting brighter. You kind of hear some whistling as it's
Just like some.
some sing-song whistling.
Where do we see this light coming from?
From where you're
The
headed.
the way we're headed.
We don't see it like through a doorway or a window. It's
No,
just-
no, there's
Where we're headed
you're
is
still
just so
underground.
far away that
I'm
we
still
don't see light.
bright light. Is that dissipated?
No,
Yeah, that's an hour.
that would have ended because we rested an hour.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So, but I can
Oh,
at
right.
least still see because it is dim like dark.
It's
So I
dim
can
light.
still,
So
I can still
those
see.
of you
we
with-
can all see.
you all can see. It's just
I can see
for
from
you can see
I can
it's a
see.
little bit better.
And
there.
the short rest.
I
does
take
that
3 more
that,
steps forward.
Sorry.
I just keep
Short
walking
rest does
towards
not
it.
recharge spell slots.
Oh, you need one.
You need a long rest to recharge spell slots, unless you have an ability that allows you to recharge those spell slots on,
Which I have.
which eventually you have.
So, since I'm able to see just a bit further than everyone else, is there anything that I notice up ahead further?
No, that light is just a bit brighter for you. That there's nothing lurking.
I assume you guys let me know.
Yeah, no, I jump.
Yes.
I hear a
See
jaunty
that
tune. Do you hear that?
I hear that, yeah. And it's coming from the direction that light is.
Like, I'm still puzzling that blade because that metal makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Alright, guys, let's continue on that way, but
Should we call out?
quietly.
Should we try to let him pass?
I
Or should
say
we?
close. Let's wait till we can hear more of it
Alright.
clearer.
Let's just keep heading that way. Just
Yep. And as you guys get about halfway,
I'm still listening to see if I recognize this jaunty tune.
it's nonsense.
it's wind through rocks type.
It's somebody. Yeah. Yeah, it's the Ravnican version of Ed Sheeran, I guess.
No, let's
Justin Bieber,
let's
right?
leave it at Ed Sheeran. That was way superior to what the truth
Let-
was.
The Canadians need the representation, okay?
You're right. That
Shed
was
Mirren.
that was fairly prejudiced against the Beebs.
It's
Sorry,
Shed
Beebs.
Mirren.
Shed Mirren.
Shed
We're
Mirren.
actually coming out of that concert.
Yeah.
Okay, we continue closer to the whistling.
Yeah, close to the whistling. As you guys get about 3/4 of the way, that light has gotten bright enough that it's now rounding the corner into the room. And there is a lizard folk, a Bianchino.
You see Goon Target really on edge immediately.
This Bianchino is dressed.
I don't see any slits gear.
No,
Garb.
no. It's the blue light that's being cast onto him. He looks purple and gray.
Goon Target confused.
Yeah, it's very purple and gray.
So dressed nicely or in
It-
colors,
That's what I'm getting to.
in friendly colors.
Purple and gray, and then his the metal bits on his armor and things are kind of almost a green tinge because of the lighting. Just because all of these blue orbs are casting kind of a bluish light to it.
Dobrin calls out, "Hello, friends."
And-
I underneath my
And then
breath.
he just kind of has his light and he's,
Don't trust this one.
where did you come from?
It was a really long walk. We got really lost.
He looks at Arcadia and just kind
Mushroom
of cocks his
hunting.
head.
We
to
were
the side.
mushroom hunting.
Mushroom hunting?
Yeah,
There
so
shouldn't be mushrooms down here.
Like I said, it was a really long walk.
we're just looking for the way towards the surface. Could you help direct us that direction?
And he just kind of has like
Any
this kind of
specific
almost swirly head tilt to him. He's surface. I just came from the surface.
Really? From which direction?
And he just kind of gives you this dumbfounded like you're speaking another language, but he fully understands you, but you're just like,
It's gibberish.
where else? Back the way we came.
We? Who's we?
Well, Gorzox.
Spell it?
It's,
Out of character.
Obvious.
It is
Cooter pulls out a notepad. Could you spell that for me?
Grozgox. Grozgrox.
G-R-O-Z.
Grozgox. Grozgrox. Grozgrox.
I have the image of just this elephant barbarian pulling out a notepad.
Glasses.
It's just like, could you spell that for me?
Totally don't
Do
remember the
these-
Guitars.
No, but yes, we're down here for no bad reasons, and we're not taking notes at all.
What relation to the Slits do these Grosgrots have?
Slits.
The Slits clan. Your kind, the Ashino.
Your kind.
Excuse
I'm,
my French.
I'm offended by
Sorry.
that.
We're just gonna go to the.
And he just kind of he sets his lantern down, crosses his arms. Sir, I am commended by Niv-Mizzet himself. How dare you? How dare you?
Do you understand?
On 2 accounts.
Do you,
2.
You have one more time to cut me off, little man.
My friend does not mean to be rude. He just is.
True.
We are simply just looking to get out of your hair to just return from whence we came.
To get out of your scalp.
I'm sorry, that was your scales.
I'm just off.
Is it?
I didn't make it any better.
No, yeah.
Get my sigil.
No. I've double checked them enough, and I don't see a single bit of bones. I don't see a single raised talon. I don't see any of the garb that would be very familiar to my imagery. So I'm very confused by it.
I'm like,
everyone's really confused right now.
But I've loosened my hand on my axe. I've sheathed it.
Like as soon as you said Niv-Mizzet, I'm like trying to push you back. I'm like,
and I kind of like my glare is now turned to just more of like a. I still don't like this guy, but I'm not gonna be. I have my like best public service face on, and I'm like, all right, buy your story.
All right.
She might want to talk to you.
I just need to know which precinct and zone we're in. When I say we're really lost, we got really lost.
And he just kind of scratches his head and he sees. Well, that depends. Where did you come from?
10th District, 4th Precinct?
Yes, well, you're still in the 10th District.
Okay.
But you're not a long way from the 4th, but you're not in the 4th.
I figured that much. Thank God we're still right in the right district.
Which precinct are we in, may I ask, my dear sir?
They're really weird.
Yeah,
They're all really weird.
we work with goblins.
We work with goblins.
And he picks up his lantern again and just kind of brings it over to you a little bit more and sees that it's, the blue and reds, and he gives it a... Ah! Airborne.
Yes. That's why I asked which...
Well, we're kind of nowhere. I mean, we're somewhere, but also nowhere.
Wonderful.
Is everything
How
a
can we
riddle
get
with this one?
somewhere that's not nowhere?
Well,
You
Wait.
just confused the shit out of me.
Alright, so...
if we just go back, I suppose my maintenance could wait till later. He just kind of scratches his scaly chin. He says, I suppose my role wouldn't be too upset if I didn't do
Can
my
we
best
help
today.
you do your chores before we get escorted? Within reason. Within reason.
I'm not gonna help.
It'd be better to have us get out of his way.
Dover, I don't think we should be messing around with these and stuff. Let's just,
You could just show us the way.
If it wouldn't be too much trouble, the blister works are a fickle thing, and they need to be calibrated.
Does that sound complicated?
yes.
Have you ever worked with gears and cogs and minute details?
Have you worked with an Is it?
I work with trees.
Yeah,
Things
no,
with roots.
this really won't be good for you.
Okay, I've been given the advice that we can't be terribly helpful to you, unfortunately. But the thought was there.
That's disappointing. But Ron shouldn't. Ron worries about too much.
Like, I reached for my pocket for one of my magnesiums and went, I think Rawl would be more than happy that, to help us out of here, give us directions and some passage. If you say you found this without letting him know we were here.
Yes, but also, I mean, you know how Ron is.
He'll snitch on you. It's in his nature. You can't help it.
I'm sorry, do you know Ron?
No, not Rob. I'm speaking to you. You're illustrious for your kind, though. Like, you are nothing like any of the Bioshino I've met.
Anyway,
He believes you.
No,
He just kind of just slicks back. He has like
He
he's
preens.
preens a little bit. He's got like not the spikes, but they're like it's not the feathers, but they're the flexible spines that
Yeah.
just kind of like.
No, you are one for your kind. That is for sure. If you haven't told, we have a past history that I probably don't want to go into right here and now. But you were pretty good. You're all right. You know that? I give him a pat on the back.
He means well.
Indeed.
As I was saying, Rawl doesn't need to know we were here.
Indeed, he won't. But how did the four of you end up in the blister court?
we just got really lost.
You took a wrong step out of Birkins. You end up in a wrong alley.
You know that the blister works. You know how
Here
it
goes the
is.
hell.
I think at this point, I just pull out my Boros sigil and it's like, we're doing some work.
And he just kind of straightens up a little bit. And just kind of eyes you. There's no experiments here.
No? Is it
Hunger
no?
factor of 17 for this guy.
Oh boy, do I have some questions to ask when we get back.
No, you don't.
And Grosgox kind of gives his chin spikes a little bit of a scritch. Look, I know you didn't come from up there. And that hatch, and points all the way back past where you guys came in, was securely locked.
You'll need to resecure it.
Evidently.
Yeah.
And you just
I didn't break it.
We
Why is everybody looking at me? I didn't break it.
Nobody said you
we
did.
tripped.
But I assumed I break.
Well, you do break a lot of things.
Hey, this time.
It was broken when we found
I
it.
know. I know.
It's broken when you found it.
I'm not saying I didn't break it.
You would expect someone who has received 2 commendations from Nib Mizzet that a locked door that he left not 8 hours before just was magically broken.
Still holding
Not magically.
Alright, okay, is there any way that we can get out of here a little bit quicker?
holding that one museum like I'd like to think yes.
He just kind of takes it.
But it's real.
That would be a poor decision.
I'm even like 2 isn't killed, they're just like
I'm just saying, if he wants to find out it's real, I mean, I'm sure he can find out.
I don't ask too many questions. And too many questions aren't asked of me. To that point, let's go and we can discuss things.
I
I'm
would very
not-
much enjoy this.
Thank you. And he picks his lantern back up from the floor and Arcadia, give me a perception, please.
9.
9. It doesn't take much since you're so close. There is like a little blue lightning method inside.
Can I get it? Is it chatty?
He's not chatty. He's just in there.
Okay. I can speak.
He's just there.
But he's just there. And Grosgrox kind of just motions for the four of you to follow him back up from the aqueduct area.
Last in the party. I still trained on him. I don't like the Yoshino.
Sure.
I would be the closest to.
Yeah.
But I also think that Arcadia is probably the best to be leading because
And you would know of Grosgrox.
Yeah.
Just because he is.
That's why I was like, Rawl! Rawl doesn't need to know.
Balls in your guys' court. As you come up the stairs, it opens into what looks to be a lot of like hydroelectric generators or capacitors. The water that you saw beneath you, and Grosgrox explains this, the water that rushes through is what turns these water wheels that basically dump into a void that empties into the Undercity. But this
we're at a hydroelectric dam.
kind of, yes. The Blisterworks supplies power to much of the 5th and 4th precincts, as well as all of the outposts in both districts.
So I would know
And
where they
some
are
of
once
the-
I see this.
Once you see this, once he said the Blisterworks, then it
Then I
kind
was
of,
like, oh.
kind of clicked in for you.
Okay.
But the Blisterworks mainly supplies power to the Izzet and Simic laboratories.
I've used this before.
Yes, you have tapped into this power many a time. And actually, I would like an infrastructure check from you.
So that would be.
You hear in the
It would
back.
be I would say, roll me your intelligence with your proficiency modifier.
Okay.
In the back, you just hear Guitar groaning. Like, and he does the motion for his hair. He's just
Yeah, you just know that it powers everything from your.
I don't know it because it's
Yeah.
not my area, but I know
Right,
about it.
it's not your area of expertise.
We'll explain that eventually.
Maybe not in his presence.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I should just make sure.
And he leads you through just rows and rows of these capacitors.
Yeah.
And there's conduits that are just glowing blue from the electricity that's running, or the power that's running through them to the different parts of the city. And he's just carrying his lantern, looks to you, Arcades. So, what doesn't Rawl need to know about?
Doesn't need to know that we were here at all.
Clearly.
And he probably doesn't need to know about the Orzhov issue behind that door.
Kind of figured that went to the Undercity, but didn't know that this was built on top of Orzhov.
At least that exit is. I would lock it up real quick. That should cover the lock.
And he nods. The Orzhov don't have, at least not in the 5th anymore, used to have a foothold here. In fact, that's what the university used to be before they were moved by the Azorius and, taxed more by the Azorius and
The
the
Azorius.
Azorius. But here in the blister coils, it's pretty calm. I mean, we haven't seen anything come up from the Undercity in years, aside from the overview.
That's why I'd make sure that door locked. Just, we accidentally stirred a little bit. You trip, you make some noise, things wake up.
Well, as anything in Ravnica, the dead don't stay dead for long.
Nope.
Any reason that you weren't down in the Undercity?
Not looking for any missing goblins.
Well, if there weren't any goblins that you weren't looking for, there isn't an abandoned, is it, warehouse near here that wouldn't hold a section of a goblin gang, possibly.
You sure don't know a lot of information.
You sure don't know when to keep your mouth shut.
He really doesn't.
That's true.
Very.
It might be a flaw of mine or something. I don't know. Anywho,
How close is
You
that?
really are nothing like I've experienced. You should take that to heart. I'm being that serious. Like, I've only wanted to punch you twice. That's like
That's actually a
that's
pretty
like a
low
really
number.
good thing. Like, I give him another pat on the
Punch
back.
me constantly.
Twice it just in, right there.
Good job, good.
I'm just saying, this guy's.
I'd very much like to
have you
apologize
met
to my
Miyashino?
acquaintance here.
Have you met him?
Good heart,
Just saying.
good heart,
You don't get out to the rebel belt
good
much, do you?
heart.
Anyway,
We're
how
not-
far
we're not
is
there
it this
right now.
warehouse?
It's not on the other side of the wall.
Alright. Do you know a place where a person could take a decent rest?
Suppose the blister coils have quarters here. It's no you. Anyone can use the functionaries
Mhm.
as you want to do.
Is it yes? I'm like,
I prefer my quarters are up here to be suitable for a
not
party of this size.
for a party that is not here.
As it were.
Alright, thank you. So we'll not take a rest and we won't go through that exit.
Precisely.
Alright, let's go. I tell the rest of the party where we're going.
Yep.
Herd them up.
And he continues to lead you to his place. If you guys exit that next level up, which was, you went from the aqueducts to kind of
Blister coils.
the blister coils proper. And as you get up to another level, now you are at ground level. It is dark. It's well past what would be curfew. It's still raining.
Shall we take a long rest in the blister coils?
The Grazox's quarters.
Yeah, you guys are in Grox's area, quarters area,
We're not.
which is kind of it's a very large, almost penthouse-like
Okay.
apartment, but very is it themed. Is very wide open floor plan, circular rooms, lots of blues, coppers, reds.
I'm quite comfortable.
You are absolutely comfortable. You're not at street level. You're a bit higher. Everything is very low in the blister works or the blister coils. This is probably one of the taller buildings in the blister coils, just because it's is it building.
Splendid.
Long rest.
Long rest.
Agreed.
I'll keep first watch.
Of course. Can someone also keep watch with him so nothing bad happens?
Since I actually only need to meditate.
Yeah, both of us can meditate for 4 hours
Okay.
and be fine.
Alright, cool. We'll sleep.
So technically, we
The
could
elephants
split. You
will
two
sleep.
could sleep, and we could both split. Because it's what, 8 hours for a long rest, or 6?
6 hours is minimum for a long rest.
Cool.
I'll take first watch then. Do entire rest now.
You walk in
And Rosgrox, kind of during this time while everybody's resting, and
Get your sheets all cleaned up.
you all can do some sheet maintenance. He goes over to Arcadia. Dragon Council. And he nods. Been a long time since I was Tara. It's probably not since the Living Guild Pact.
Well, that's the reason why they call it back. You weren't MIA.
He just shakes his head. You would think that someone, I mean, even Master Rawl, would figure out some way to bring him back. Or even Gideon would figure out something.
You would think.
He just kind of continues to think. You know, the Dragon Council, despite what Tajik might think, doesn't go against what Niv had originally planned. The Dragon's Council was built, I mean, the naming itself was named for Niv's crazy machine that created the Living Guild Pact. The Dragon's Maze was Niv's brainchild, as it were.
That is an old story.
It is. And it's surprising that now would be the time that the council would try to find Chase.
They're worried that the guilds are going after each other too hard right now. They're hearing collapse at this point.
That's
At least that's what.
and he just kind of he continues just to pick at various scales, not picking at them, but just idly scratching at ones that as if to like scrape some kind of tarnish off
Like
of them.
getting the crud.
Yeah, like getting the crud out of your nails, but he's like,
Crud.
or like if you're like, you know, if you take your thumb and you like scrape your teeth kind of thing. He's kind of doing that, but on the outside on the scales. You're not trying to reforge surprised Gideon hasn't taken care of him yet.
Well, when he goes hocus pocus on the prison move.
And he just... What do you mean, hocus pocus?
The cards had him, some fog rolled in, and poof, he was gone.
And he just kind of... A fang just kind of pops out and just kind of bites at his lip. And he's, let me guess. His guards didn't know anything.
Obviously. All I've got on Franklin right now is a drop point for weapons. Which would be, I can't find it. It was what the slaughter.
Maneuvers.
Slaughter something.
Smokehouse Inn.
Smokehouse. Oh, that's in 4.
That's why I had to ask where we were when we popped out.
Well, the bright side is that you're not far from the 4th. The downside is that you're not in the 4th. Unfortunately, there's no quick way back. Don't know how long you were in the Undercity.
What day did we start?
Monday. I'm passed out.
No, I mean from your
Oh.
like.
From my notes, I do not have my front page,
This would
unfortunately.
be night of day 2 of the events. So,
We're about 2 days out from.
so early morning day 1 is when Krenko escaped.
So
You guys are late day 2.
6 hour rest.
it's been about 2 days since Cranko.
It's been about 2 days.
First 48.
Yeah, this is literally first 48.
Wow, that works real well for the cop.
Yeah, it does. And he looks at. You're passed out, Guntar. The other two, are you still in that main hall area?
I'm in the main hall area because I'm on first watch.
Okay.
I don't know about Dublin.
And that's
No number with us.
Passed out.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one that's awake besides Arcadia.
okay.
And
Yeah, and the 3 of you are still in the main area then. He looks over at Varys. Why are you dressed like a ninja?
Arcadia's trying not to laugh really hard. Because every place we went, he stuck out like a sore thumb. Do you know how hard it is to get criminals to talk to you when a cop is next to you?
Well, I
Unfortunately,
definitely haven't been questioned about my definitely not illegal experiments.
I kind of give a glance over.
But that does bring me to my next thought. It sounds like our old friends in the house, Demir, might be up to no good again. If it's just a fog that Krenko just disappeared, then nobody knows anything. My best hypothesis would be the Demir.
Because I figured his Goblin gang wouldn't be smooth enough to make him go poof.
Not smart enough. Our goblins aren't even smart enough to pull off something like that.
Exactly. Mine at least figured out how to fly without dying.
Well, we just kind of things. Well, except for maybe, and he's just kind of thinking, the only one smart enough, I would think. He just kind of is very kind of pensive and thinking.
Question, am I overhearing any of this?
You're hearing bits and pieces of it.
I just wanted to ask.
Yeah. Let me just see here.
Somebody who's awake should ask who Mr. Taz is too.
The only goblin I would think that would even be smart enough to even try such a thing would be Gidlack, but why? Why would he even try to break out? Which brings us back to the debate.
The only other name I've got on the lead is Mr. Taz.
Mr. Taz. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Some say that Taz is just nobody. Doesn't exist. Fairy tale. That's a very interesting thought. I'll have to think on it. And he just continues to kind of putter and ponder and very is it
thinking to
yeah.
tinkering. That's the thinking process.
Yeah, essentially. And he takes that museum and just hands it back to you.
You hear a sound that sounds like not thunder, but it's just the entire having no sleep.
Sure.
Not thunder.
I am not going to require rolls at this time. But you are woken up. You are woken up. You hear this clearly, as do you. There is an explosion.
Fuck.
I look down towards where the blister works is.
It did not come from the blister works or the blister coils. This was not a. This was not an electrical explosion. This was combustion. This was gunpowder. This was.
Fuck.
This was big. There is an explosion that comes from the 4th district, and the camera's going to pull away from you guys real quick. And it's going to go to Foundry Street.
That's where the smokehouse is. Just a reminder.
There
It's
is
literally a smokehouse right now. We should probably get this.
Maybe about 10 minutes before, there is a warehouse.
There was, okay.
This is 10 minutes before, there is a warehouse. A group of goblins they are rolling in large barrels into this building.
Fucking goblins.
Most of them are wearing a kind of a red garb with kind of rusted iron armor as they're rolling in this stuff. And there's a goblin at the back that's kind of shifty looking. He's dressed just like the rest of them.
But he's shiftier looking than the rest of them?
Yes, if a goblin were to look even more shifty than a goblin, definitely.
This one.
Can you describe what weapon he has?
All of these goblins are armed with short swords, daggers, things like that. This particular goblin also is carrying what looks to be a igniter of some sort. And after everything has kind of been brought into this place, he takes the igniter, lights it, and lays it on one of the barrels as everybody kind of disperses from where these barrels are.
Like that scene from Batman where the
Kind
army
of.
tent in the middle.
Kind of, but this is an occupied space.
Unoccupied.
No, it is occupied by Krenko's gang.
Oh.
And time goes by, minutes pass, and just before you all hear it, these barrels, the igniter finally burns through the top of a barrel and drops in, which ignites one barrel, which spreads to the next one's out and out and out and out. And this blast is large enough that it's heard in the adjacent, nearby adjacent precincts that share the wall near Foundry Street. And this entire building that was there is now gone, along with a good portion of Krenko's gang. And now, camera snaps back to where you guys are in the blister coils, and we will be right back from break.
I'm about to peel myself.
The cameras haven't turned off yet.
If y'all have any questions to throw into the table talk, please do so, and our lovely people behind the cameras will go ahead and compile those for me. But we will be back in 5. You don't. We're back.
I'm sorry.
You have no time. Time is 0.
So like, if
Sorry,
it's full,
audience,
like,
I'm
all the
brushing
way,
my
like,
hair.
it's
It's
actually
okay.
really loud.
Hello! I am Didact, your internet fiend. These are all the same people that were here before.
Or is it?
Is it?
I will replace you with a corpse.
And I mean, I'm surprised they haven't yet.
Retcon.
Yeah.
Varys, deciding that he needed to go investigate something in the 4th district, found himself in a warehouse that was just leveled.
That'd be the weirdest time skip ever.
Just all of a sudden, he's just there. All of a sudden, gone.
He booked it.
No, it's just 1 second I'm with everyone else, the next I'm there. It's like, what? Just.
Pretty much.
We had just heard the explosion.
Yeah, you just heard the explosion.
What was that?
That wasn't below us.
That was somewhere outside of here.
Does anyone? Oh
What
my-
did you do?
Can we see outside?
I'm surprised. I should be asking you that question.
Hey, I woke up from a bad dream. Don't start with me right now.
Can we see outside?
Yeah, there's windows.
So I can see
Can we
smoke
see-
coming from over the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, what's going on over there? Doesn't it? Oh my god.
So
Disingenuous sounding.
So-
What is? Oh no!
So direct.
Something bad has
I'm
happened.
so worried.
Oh,
I
so
take-
directionally we know where it's coming from now, correct?
Yeah.
So we now know it is from the 4th.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can roll a perception if you want to leave it up to the die.
I'm not doing that.
Oh, haha, 22.
Okay, yeah, it's fine.
Definitely.
You sounded so broken.
I
Like, I suppose.
I mean, it's not the.
There you die.
If you're gonna be smart with me, I'm gonna make you roll dice.
There you go.
You see this?
I was asking a question.
I know I ask this every week, but do you see this? It means I run your life.
I was just asking a question, and then you're just like, roll, motherfucker.
It appears that that's coming from the 4th district. Or
My,
4th
what
precinct.
What?
just
I think I-
architecture.
Do we see
The lizard man.
Blah blah. Do we see person who's not very nice to me?
You're
Because
just,
I have a reason.
you're just
Do
not
you
nice
now?
to him.
I don't like VSU.
Okay,
I
we
said he
can
was
tell.
I said he was the best person I've ever met as a VSU. How much more
That's
polite do I
kind
need
of
to
a
be?
compliment.
I know, right? I was almost there.
Anyways,
Has his do we see him in the room with us? The chamber?
Yeah, he's
How's his reaction?
he's concerned.
Panic?
Not so much panicked, but
Like, that's not
That's-
normal.
I mean, is it
I'm
normal
also
at this
very
point?
concerned.
I was making more along the lines of he was like looking at his watch expecting it, be like, all right, about time that thing happened.
Considering he was talking to me about is it things, the answer is no.
I'm concerned because it's back in the 4th precinct, which is where my garrison is, which is where I should be.
yeah, if you want to, if everybody wants to, since you're all at the window, if you all want to give me some, perception.
Nope.
Percentile or perception?
Perception.
Perception.
Base 17, perception, only 17.
You know,
14 for me.
5.
I know how much your plus is.
So,
His perception.
See, I have to keep looking and you're just like,
I-
it's +0.
At this point,
Don't-
passive perception is higher.
Yeah, Dobrin, as you kind of adjust your elephant-sized glasses, you're able to see these winged creatures start to descend on where this explosion came from.
Does anyone else see winged creatures descending upon the 4th precinct?
Are they angels?
She's the only one that
Can I see if
or
they're
he was the only one that rolled high enough to
See them.
see
to even see that there's things with wings?
that there's
And it's
things.
night. Is it still nighttime or is it daytime?
It's night.
It's still nighttime. We slept for 6 hours.
No, this interrupted. You guys like
So we have
So-
to refix our
no. Fix your sheets. The time that it has taken for conversations to happen, and when this
It's a long
explosion
enough
happened,
rest.
is a long enough rest.
Okay. Okay, so it's still nighttime, so I can't
Yeah.
really tell if they're angels. Can I divinely sense them?
Not from this distance.
Not from this. Yeah, this is a really
This
long
is
distance.
really far
60
away.
feet.
This is beyond 60 feet.
I think it's the
We need to get within 60 feet, guys.
At that point, we're close enough.
At this point, Dobrin, I say we just need to get in there right now.
Our friend, Gralsdrax, it was not nice meeting you.
Oh, God.
As in, it's nice meeting you, but it's not nice meeting you.
Sir, thank you for your hospitality. We need to take our leave now.
That might be for the best. Be careful. I can't say that there will be anything easy in the 4th, at least for a while.
There it is. And we book it.
IG, take it easy. I'm out.
And
Go
we
G,
book it.
Well, I suppose I'm meandering. I
And
like the
we
smell
book
of
it.
Easier.
Yeah.
I'm all slowly.
Yeah. As you guys are still moving, it's obviously going to take a while to get to the wall, to even get into the forest. But as you get there,
Do we see any more angels? And not angels.
There's
winged
Possible
things?
angels.
there is no angels. But as you get closer,
Angels are alive.
you notice these pinpricks of light that are actually coming down through the smoke from what was this warehouse, and they seem to have a triangular shape to them. What was that?
So that ain't the Boros.
No, it is not. It is very not the Boros.
Do we all say this or just over?
Yeah, everybody as you're, because you guys are like making a beeline. It's, you know, moving as quickly as creaturely possible.
I suggest to the party, maybe we should not move so hastily. Remember, curfew's out. We don't necessarily blend in. Might need to be a little bit more stealthy than moving at a fast pace.
Fair assumption. Fair assumption.
Still moving that way. Just like, let's don't double time it.
We're moving quickly but cautiously.
I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sticking to the shadows as much as possible.
As
My ears just poking up every time. Just
Trunk.
I'm jumping from tree branch to tree branch.
We're in the city. We're in the city.
Fine, I am running.
Alright, off
You're
the
a
walls.
ninja running off the walls, parkouring, Prince of Persia style.
Playing Apex Legends. He is running off of everything. No fall damage.
Sliding down everything.
yeah, there's no wall running in Apex. Fun is not allowed, but also mandatory. As you guys near the wall, you can kind of notice the sky is starting to lighten a bit, and that's when there's another explosion.
From near the first one?
In you would say near the first one.
It's on the other side of the wall.
It's on the other side of the
When
wall.
I hear it, trunk perception to see where the smell of the blast, like a powdery smell.
Sure. Do you have any experience with demolition?
I have experience in raids, so I'm familiar with the scent carnage.
I have experience with using my snout.
She has a boy.
Would I have experience from? Is it explosions?
About battles for me?
I'm just gonna roll one. I'm not gonna roll an advantage. I lost that fight.
Hi, Pat Rothfuss. Come pick up your kids.
7.
No.
I rolled it. I didn't roll advantage. Just let it be known. It's when
Yes, hello, Patrick Rothfuss.
he has a nice beard.
Yeah, I know it's a 4-hour drive from Stevens Point, but could you please come pick up your kids?
I would, because I do know the.
Yes.
So that would be perception or.
It'd be suppose a knowledge, flat knowledge,
knowledge.
or flat intelligence.
But then that would be a 12.
It's not. Is it explosions? It is definitely.
No, I mean like because I know explosions, I would know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
That's what I meant with my intimate knowledge.
You're looking for where they're coming from. From this side of the wall, it's you just know it's near where the other explosion was. That's
about it.
yeah.
Relative
You don't
to
have
where we are. It's
yeah.
just-
It's not the far like.
Yeah, it's not on the other side of the district. It's
It's
still in the vicinity of Foundry Street.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like I know that at least it's within that zone.
Yeah, it's still within the Foundry Street zone.
Because anywhere near the other one could be anywhere in the 4th precinct when you're guessing.
Yeah.
So that's what I meant. I was trying to pinpoint the.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna know the exact.
No, I just
Well-
meant was it like closer or.
We at least
Yeah.
know how to get to the 4th district because shit keeps exploding. Stuff.
This way! This way! There's a beak over here.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's a terrible one.
It is a very terrible weapon.
I would rather run around
Yeah, that's
Something for later on to tell you about.
without anything. With that.
Something for later.
Okay, explosion.
D&D.
D&D.
Another explosion.
Wait, like a third explosion?
No.
No.
The second
We're
explosion.
back on the second explosion.
Yes.
Which I don't know where it is.
It's close to the first one.
Do we know any extra information about this explosion than we did the first one?
You don't know your
Straight up anything.
players. You know what happened.
The characters
The
do not
character-
know.
I'm like, things are exploding. It exploded closely to the last one.
So we just continue toward.
Yeah, you guys are
Where
rushing
are we going?
into danger, not knowing what you're
Well-
going to find on the other side.
Sounds like you-
Fast but cautious.
Yes,
Fast but cautious.
expedited, but cautious. Correct. But yeah, you guys are rushing towards danger, not knowing what you're going to find, except for what remains of 2 explosions. Remember, character knowledge is different from player knowledge.
Yes. Basically, I was just because you seemed like you were
How far
waiting for
away
us
are we
to
from
do
the
something.
wall?
We're just continuing the same direction we were going.
Yeah.
Is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
How far away are we from the wall right now?
You are coming up to the wall. There's gates, obviously that are throughways, which at this time the portcullises are down because it is past curfew. Curfew hasn't quite been lifted yet.
But it's getting to the end of curfew.
It's getting to the end of curfew, but it's
Still
still gonna be awake.
What do we see at the portcullis? Do we see any guards?
It is Boros guard at the portcullis.
Please don't change.
Yeah, this is where we're running up, and it's like, show my sigil. We need to get through.
And the guard just kind of straightens up and looks at you.
Okay, look, I know that I'm not in typical uniform. We had some issues. Please, we need to get through. I'm sure you heard the explosions as well.
Right, and we are under orders not to let anyone through, especially after curfew.
Do I need to do an interpretive dance here? Bearstable, 4th Precinct, my garrison is here. We need to get in right now.
He looks at you and looks at the other 3.
Look, I understand that things are a little confusing right now. We need to get in.
And he just leans back and just looks at you as slow down, elf.
Excuse me?
This is a very Boris exchange.
Your badge of station is not adequate here, or so you think it is. Also, the 3 that accompany you are clearly not of our guild. It is past curfew. Why would logic dictate that I allow you through?
how many guards are there?
There's 2 at least posted at this portcullis, but logic would dictate that there are more inside the wall and on the other side. Do you really want to start a fight here?
No, really dumb question.
Really dumb answer. Good conversation.
Can I roll an intimidation check?
Probably not a good idea.
You can absolutely try an intimidation. He's gonna counter roll you.
So would you just prefer that we came during curfew hours?
It'd be quite a way. No, I'm. Like trying to tell her.
Dude,
Oh, I didn't approach the guards. I asked how far they were. He ran up.
Yeah, no, like I'm back next to you. Like that's why I was like
I
asking
found
him
out.
stuff. I'm like, you can't knock him unconscious.
I probably could, but is that the best course of action?
It's just a backup plan if he messes up.
I mean, if he messes up, I see 2. Shouldn't be too hard.
Well, there's always more on the inside.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
They know what our faces look like.
What? I don't
Will they
That's
ever
like
just
Why is he
them?
always trying to pull rank? Name drop. Like we know Tajik. Why is he?
to be
Fucking,
We're on a mission from Tajik. That's what he says. We get through, right?
We're still away.
do we
Yeah, we're
Yeah, no, I know. You guys are away from him. He's
Cool. We're
front
having
and
this
center.
conversation.
He's the
amongst
one that's
ourselves.
dealing with the guards.
Fucking,
It's
that's
like-
right. I do know Tajik, don't I? Yes?
You all know Tajik.
Yeah, we met him at a Dragon's Council meeting.
Oh, that's right.
He was a prick.
For
Good
is
to
it
you.
I'm
actually
a
is
prick,
it knowledge for you over here? Would I know of any side entrances that passageways?
I would say that is something a role might dictate.
Can I name drop Tajik?
Because
Would that help?
Try it.
You can certainly try.
Okay.
That might help with your intimidation. Like
yeah.
Tajik tried to get me to do this, and that
And
might
then,
help
well,
perceive
am I
advantage
getting
on your roll.
knowledge
Okay.
Just for future reference. That helps.
Would I be rolling just a
I
knowledge?
totally forgot about that,
like,
thank you.
History.
You're welcome.
What would I be rolling?
Yeah, it would be a history, because you are using your
Architecture.
your infrastructure.
Okay.
Because remember, you are now topside.
Okay. That would be
12. You think there might be another way around? Not quite sure where.
I guess there is another way. I just can't remember where.
I want to see how this goes.
I look back over
I'm
as we're
like,
talking to you.
I'm like, no. Once he screws out, there's another way.
I will do the intimidation.
I bet you.
You're
I
gonna
bet
do
you.
intimidation.
I'm going to do the intimidation.
I bet you Zeno he gets arrested.
No, not arrested. At least beat up.
Okay, I'll take you on that.
Thrown out.
Cool.
But
Alright, you shake on that.
What was that intimidation there, sir?
Is it that one?
Actually,
No.
That won't be as satisfying.
he got a 20.
Wait, what?
It's 3, right? 17 plus 3.
No, I hit the tables.
Oh, was it a 3? It's a 6.
A 6.
Because when I looked, it's a 15.
Yeah, I hit the table because I was a little
The
upset.
one guard kind of elbows his buddy, and they just start laughing at you as swords come out.
Great, it's gonna be one of these kinds of nights again.
Are they making aggressive action to him?
They've just unsheathed
Just
their
draw
swords.
sword.
They've just drawn their
Just
swords.
threatening, not.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him to stop fucking screwing around with him.
As they do that, I want to look up on the portcullis. Do I see any more?
Well, no, portcullis is there. That's the iron bar.
Yeah, excuse me. I want to look like it.
On the wall.
I'm guessing there's a standards on each side, like archer spots.
Yeah, there is. Like
do I
along
see-
the top of the
Yeah,
wall.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah. There are boros up there.
There are.
Yeah. This place. There is martial law in
Yeah,
Ravnica,
no,
sir.
I mentioned that on the way up here. Remember?
That's like
No.
slow and cautious, and he just books it. Where it's
Yeah.
like,
Let's not totally get be noticeable to them.
Yeah, and the
criminals.
two
I don't like
guards
fights, I
are
don't
just kind of
This is
laughing at Varys and his failed attempt
This is why I hate guards.
to intimidate.
But you're a cop.
This is why I hate guards. Guards are different.
I'm like sitting turned over. What's Gucci? Would I have a general knowledge of which way to go
Who
towards
follows?
the door? I can't remember.
Yeah, you would have a general. You kind of have a general idea, but you're not sure where the exact location is. Party is
We're not
split
coming.
currently.
We're not coming back for you.
No.
I'll deal
I'm
with it.
nudging us towards. Oh my guys, I think the secret way is this way, if I remember right.
Do we have like a cane that I can grab his neck with here? Like,
No, you guys are far enough distance away that
He's a good at least 35 plus.
yeah,
You know.
I whistle. Trying to get his attention.
Are you sure you want to do
Let's,
I mean, we're not hiding from the guards.
Like we're in shadow. We're not like.
I have a
I
hood.
mean, it'll just sound like a bird. A really sick bird. Just trying to get his attention to GTFO because we ain't coming back for his.
AKA
his
the
tiny-
giraffe alarm.
It's time I'll go with Coco.
I I will return, but I will just say to them that I will be back for you.
I need a strength save, please.
Strength save.
Strength save.
Okay.
So, saving throw strength.
That is 24.
The guard, like, as you are starting to make your way back to the rest of the team, he grabs you by the collar of your vest. But because it's one of those stupid open Naruto vests,
I just slip right
you
out.
slip out of it.
Fuck you!
And, like, the other guard starts to chase after you, while he, like, signals the archers at the top of the...
Like, we see this, right?
Oh, yeah!
I'm running back and I'm like, this is about the time that we run!
Oh, we'd already been. We've already been.
Double dash. Double dash.
Just
Double dash.
I'm Brad. Like, what's your guys' speed?
I'm 30.
30. Alright, I'm literally the fastest.
Yeah, you're 40. We're double.
I'm at 35, so I'm just like...
Yeah, how fast are these guards?
30.
So
easily get away.
she's making sure that you guys are getting away while I'm just like, hurry the fuck up!
Yeah.
I mean, if we start running before they do, they don't catch
Yeah,
up to
we
us
already
unless
have
we
a
stop.
lead, plus
Yeah.
we started booking it at...
And if we stop, I'm fighting.
Yeah,
Just
so
so we're clear. If
we're
we stop,
not
I'm punching
stopping.
something.
I was like,
Yeah.
And you're slightly
Just please let
faster.
it not be
you
me.
for the bet. I was like, I think you owe me a Zeno.
You're slightly faster than
I
these guys.
bet that would happen. What are you talking about? I'm still running.
I think we both did. So, yeah.
Dobrin, you owe us a Xenos.
I will require checks of the evasive variety. If you can give me, if you can justify me
Athletics?
and a way that you will be evading. That
So-
will be.
Okay, I got to. Okay.
So which one were we
Alright.
looking for?
Some kind of evasion. So if you are trying to
Just run away.
run away and be in athletics, if you're trying to like parkour your ass away,
Fuck
with
yes.
dexterity.
Yeah, fuck yes. You kidding me? Fuck yes.
Basically, zigzags all around buildings, booking it.
Yep, I mean that would be athletics.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'll do a dex check and
It's-
parkour my way out
yeah.
here.
It would be in acrobatics for that.
For an acrobatics for the parkouring?
For the parkouring, it would be in acrobatics.
That is an 11 for me.
11. Okay.
I would just like to run, turn to a corner, then sharp turn to another corner. I'm just.
Okay, that's gonna. I have a flat dex.
Okay. I have danger sense. Does this barbarian ability of that doesn't really help me in this
No,
situation?
You're not detecting
like
it.
I'm
Okay.
trying to
Yeah,
dodge around buildings.
Flat
Would that
decks?
be a dex?
that would also be a dex.
That's
yeah,
what I meant
because
was I'm flat out
you're
moving.
using your dexterity to stay on your feet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with my -1, it's my dexterity.
Oh.
I got 12.
I got it in 11.
I got an 11.
He is still in
In pursuit.
pursuit.
Should we just keep checking
Yeah, you
until...
can keep checking until.
Actually, I want to
Does anyone have a smoke
Chaos
bomb?
Rule.
I have a smoke ever,
Oh yeah, you do have the.
Oh,
the
Oh,
smoke
hell
bomb.
yeah.
and because I'm zigzagging behind, you guys are all like going as straight as possible, right?
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm
the fastest
zigzagging.
route.
I kind of think.
Yeah, so you guys are going the
fast.
fastest route where I'm literally like slaloming, so I'm causing a wall behind you guys of smoke because I'm holding onto it.
Okay.
Like,
So you're giving yourself a contrail so that they follow you.
yeah, because I can stop it, and then just book it.
True.
So,
Yeah. The three of you can now roll with advantage on your evasions.
I'm just gonna go back to fucking dex.
Natural
Parkour my
20.
way out.
Oh shit. Okay.
That would be 19 for my parkouring.
Alright.
With the damage?
With advantage.
As an
Yeah.
aside, I called natural 20 a base 20 last weekend for some reason.
Or last week.
No, at a different game.
Oh, different game.
No, my
Yay for the base 20.
yeah, no, my party member was like, "You mean you got a natural 20?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Base 20?" And then my DM was like, "Oh, it was a natural 20." And I was like,
Is it a natural 20 or is it a dirty 20? Like that's.
Alright, and then do you need me to...
I will need you to roll an evasion. Dobrin and Varys, you guys are able to kind of like get yourselves like make three consecutive rights or 3 consecutive lefts, whichever is your fancy.
Parkour!
Parkour! Parkour! Parkour! And get
Parkour
yourself
unlocks the
behind
bounds.
him
Yes.
as he like runs past. He is still in pursuit of Dobrin or of Guntar and Arcadia.
But I still have to roll, so... And I'm not giving advantage because I'm going to try to
Right.
distract him.
Yep.
Actually,
Wow.
which is a 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Alright.
Dirty 20.
"Dirty try."
Guntar? Can I have another one?
At this point, I've capped it because
yeah.
he's lost me.
Yeah,
So
so
it's just a wall. He's still in a wall of cloud.
I'm going to run to the nearest wall I see and try to jump to the top of on top of a roof. That's what I'm going to do with this attempt.
Alright.
So whichever you want me to roll, I will do.
Athletics, since you were
Sweet.
jumping.
Kind of where I
Are you
want to
jumping, climbing, clambering?
Yeah.
Yes, that will be a,
That'll be a 19.
a 19.
Oh,
Okay.
excuse me.
Just a 15
Yeah.
base.
Alright. He is going to try.
I got athletics.
And
I don't have
he does
that.
not.
Same.
He is not able to follow you. So
Cool.
as you kind of like,
You just see Guntar just like up on the roof.
Varys,
Hello.
please give me a perception.
Perception?
Yes.
Okay. That is an 11.
11. It's not good enough.
Fuck. Is the second one behind me?
Give me a dexterity save.
A dex save?
A dex save.
That is an 8.
An 8. You're going to take 2 points of piercing.
Who's anywhere near him?
It's going to be the second guard. I swear to you. Watch.
We'll find out.
If you would like to try another perception to see where this came from.
Probably one of the rangers.
Another 11.
Another 11. You have a general idea just because of where these 2 projectiles are sticking out of you.
Oh fuck no! It's not the second guard. I know what it is now.
Just the rangers.
No. What has happened is there are 2 needles now kind of
Oh no! It's
in
not
your
what I think it
shoulder.
is.
Kind of like in the joint of your shoulder. That had you had your vest, most likely would have just played off. But they have now jabbed themselves into your shoulder.
Are any of us anywhere near him?
Case.
Someone's gonna want to drag his unconscious body.
No,
somewhere.
he's still awake.
I'm just kind of like looking at like what is in my shoulder.
So he's not about to fall asleep. In
No,
deep
no.
slumber?
He is, he's just taken 2
What's damage?
2
Okay.
points of damage.
Fuck.
I mean, if you want to make a Constitution save.
Yes.
Who's talking? Who's talking him into a Constitution save?
No, let's not.
I would talk myself into one. That's my best statistical.
You're fine.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
You're also not on. Oh wait, no, you are on a roof.
Mhm.
What's your AC again?
My AC is 15.
15. You're gonna take 1.
Sounds like a win.
Uh,
I'm gonna take a
Gilbert
perception
and
check.
I are not.
Correct, because you are on the ground.
Perception check.
Yes,
I'm not
please.
climbing.
Wait, where did I end up?
You're on a roof.
9.
You parkoured,
You
remember?
parkoured.
I thought it was just parkouring around the corners.
No, you found a way
Up.
up.
Because you used
9.
the cover to go up, but
9?
the smoke didn't go
Yeah.
up that far.
Nothing. You have a general sense. It kind of like you can kind of see Varys,
Mhm.
and the same thing with him.
You just see me staring at him.
But like you can kind of figure out a general direction for where these came from.
I'm proceed to the next. I'm assuming I have an alleyway I can jump into. That's not the alleyway I ran in on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that on my next turn, and then try to sniff to where the group went.
Because I think I'd meet up with Dobrin. Because I'm not.
Yeah, because you guys are near each other.
Yeah. Because I captured
Check that.
once we lost
I'm
him.
gonna drop down and then
Captain,
make a
so the
stealth check.
smoke would be
I'm
leading
gonna
us
attempt to hide.
to it. Because
I
I
know to us, yeah.
Yeah. Give me a stealth.
Sounds like fun. 17 plus -1, 16.
You're
Cool hits. I use
sufficient.
I use my hood
Because you are also under, like, you're under roof level.
for sure.
Alright. I'm like, I assume Varys is dead, this way towards the door.
I'm also just kind of still standing there.
Yeah, you're
We assume you're dead because you have not tried to regroup.
Do something. Drop.
I will go down.
okay.
I will go down, and actually I'll do the same thing as Guntar, and I will roll stealth.
Sure.
That is 17.
Alright, yeah. You rolled. That's the same. You're able to get out of line of sight of whatever just got you.
I shake my head and I'm just trying to sniff my way to the group.
Sure.
Have we run to it?
Yeah, you're not far from them, so
Okay.
you're able to.
Like, I'm trying my best to remember my way to the hidden entrance.
And I get to them, I'll be like, dumbass cost me a hit point. Drop the little thing, whatever it was.
Yeah, it's a throwing needle. It's not like a kunai or anything. It's a long, thin, like almost hairpin style.
I'm gonna shove this up his ass.
So they just
I'm
did
gonna really be a
acupuncture.
weep here.
Yeah, give me a weave. Give me a weave.
It's the fucking character when they were escorting the fucking bridge builder. The one that was throwing the needles?
Haku.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's exactly those. It's exactly those. That type of needles. Or if you are of the Smash Bros / Zelda fandom,
Oh, she.
Sheik's needles that Sheik throws.
I thought she was throwing those
She does have.
knives.
She does have shuriken.
She's
Well, yeah, she does, but she also has needles. If you look really closely at the animation for
Yeah,
the
they
melee,
actually they are. I have
Yeah,
seen some others
they're
before, yeah.
they're actually needles that she throws.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're doing acupuncture on him, remote, like from
Remote, dangerous acupuncture.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
They
you stab enough into
Extreme
somebody and it unlocks their
acupuncture.
death.
yeah, they are.
This knife is a key that unlocks people's death.
This sword is also a key, and when you stick it in people, it unlocks their death.
Yeah, I jumped down, started to hide, and I just kind of like at least try to pull one out just to inspect what it is.
Yeah,
And like try to understand who and what.
yeah. I mean,
it's probably just the Boros guards, right?
I'm gonna say no.
yeah, that's
They not
not
carry
a
these?
Boros
Yeah,
style
because
weapon.
because I have a thought. I have a thought, but I'm gonna keep it to myself for right now.
Okay. As a player or character?
As a player.
As a player. Okay.
Okay, this is me talking as a player. I have a thought, but I'm gonna keep it to myself for now.
Okay.
Back into character. I'm going to figure out what the fuck just hurt me.
Sure. Yeah.
Can I roll?
Yeah.
Would it be investigation or perception?
It would be a knowledge.
Knowledge.
So intelligence.
So just a straight int.
Yeah, give me an just a straight int. Actually, history.
History.
Yeah. So just whatever you just rolled plus history.
4.
4. Yeah, is it there? Big ol' goose egg.
Yikers Island.
Yikers Island.
Yikers Island.
Yikers Island. So it is clearly not
Boros.
Boros. It is clearly not. Is it? It's clearly not something that the Selesnya or the Groll would use.
It certainly isn't something for any of the guilds around here.
Any of the guilds that you guys have been involved with thus far doesn't match.
Fuck, I'm really scared now.
I think I know.
Probably get to the party.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make my way back to the party.
Sure.
Now after like trying to decipher what the fuck this is.
Survival, please.
Survival? Okay.
That's under wisdom.
Yeah, I see it.
It'll be pretty low, but
6.
yeah, it takes you a while to get back to the party. But
Thank God.
you finally pull up on them. You're about 50 feet back from where they're at, so you have to kind of
50 feet back.
I mean, that's
50
still
feet
the
back
second
and
one.
gets down on all fours and breaks into a sprint. He's coming for you. There's blood on his face. Oh God, there's blood everywhere.
Shut up.
Yeah, I make it back to the party. I still have the other needle on my shoulder.
As he approaches, I want to just scan maybe 2 lengths from back where he came, just watching to see if he got followed.
Yeah, perception.
Also, from within the perception value
Oh,
for the needle
four.
itself, how long is the needle? Like, is it like?
I mean, that's not something that you would need knowledge for or perception for.
Okay.
But they're yay long. I mean,
So both ends are sticking basically. There's one end behind and one in front.
no, it does. They're
No,
not.
they
It's
don't
not
do
through and through.
Oh, so it came in from in
They
front. not
both
behind.
came from in
Okay.
front. They're
Okay.
kind of like right.
They're
right,
just
right
watch.
edge.
Yeah. Okay.
Like one on top of the joint, one below the joint.
So right.
Oh, here.
Yeah. No, there's some accuracy here. The one that hit you, Goontar, kind of actually just pierced your thigh.
It was already out.
Yeah.
I saw a 4, so I'm just like,
You-
I'm so pissed at him that I'm not really paying attention to what I was trying to look at. Just
Yeah.
like, you dumbass.
Can I roll a what is it? Perception to try to find the.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that
Entrance.
entrance.
That's good.
19.
Yeah. With some.
Is it still curfew?
Yep.
Yeah,
it
it's
is
still curfew.
It is still
This
curfew.
is like the longest night.
The longest night.
The longest night. Really, really good Wolverine podcast, by the way. The long night. But that's a story for another time. It takes you a while to find it, but you do find there is a access.
We put them in everywhere.
You put them in everywhere.
You make the city.
That's a Steamworks conduit hatch. That's kind of just like a maintenance hall, essentially. Usually it is locked, but with your is it lock it, you're able to get it in. Actually, it's able to
Is it master key?
Read your credentials and let you pass because it knows that is your home district on the other or home precinct on the other side.
Oh, you were doing work on the opposite side. Here, let's go home.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Last one, and I'm just double checking.
no, I think I would be the last one because I have to.
Oh, like, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Last one of us. I'm just,
Yeah, because I have to take my sigil out and pop and close the door.
I got attacked, so I'm just like, I'm gonna attack somebody as soon as I see them.
Yeah, and as you enter in, this hallway is lit with that same blue arc light that was in the.
At this point, it's the most comforting colored light you can have.
Yeah.
For me, it means is it safe?
Yeah. As
Firelight.
she closes the door behind you, you have that blue arc light that runs down either side. So it's a little bit brighter than it was in
The waterworks.
in the waterworks. Yeah.
Whatever.
Blister.
In the blisterworks, yeah.
The blisterworks would have been really bright. The coils area.
The coils area would have been a little bit brighter, but like I'm talking like the aqueduct area.
When we were at the
Yeah.
water.
It's brighter than the aqueduct area, but not quite as bright as the upper level where the blister coils are.
What did you say to them?
Look, okay, so
He did get injured, so.
So did I!
No, that's Zeno.
Normally I'm the cause for this.
okay, so after now learning about this, as I pulled the second needle out, I have a feeling that those may have not been Boros, and this may have been something connected with those explosions.
Well, one,
I don't. I've knocked down many a Boros soldier. I've never seen these little things.
Do they look particularly goblinoid?
No, too fine craftsmanship.
No, not the weapons, the beings that you were talking to.
Oh,
No, they were human.
They were human.
They were human
Yeah, they were human
looking.
flame fists.
Did you see anything that hit you?
no. No, I got up on a roof and then all of a sudden there was just 2 needles in my shoulder.
Did you talk at all to that guy we were talking to before the explosions happened?
Roswell.
Rosrock?
Grosdrox, our friend.
G, or for short.
Rosrock?
Mr.
Gigi. He's Gigi.
Gigi.
I mean, yeah, you can call him Gigi.
Gigi. We were chatting a bit. He, old guard,
Oh,
dragon,
Dragon's Tongue.
yeah, Dragon's Council. He was once upon a time,
oh wow.
back when the Living Pact was,
Oh.
first.
That explains his answers a little better.
Did you know anything
Oh,
about
let it go.
what we're doing right now?
That's still fun.
His best guess, as far as we had last talked, was he's thinking the Demir got involved
The Demir.
because
Do they have weird ninja weapons?
Mirror and shadows and secrets. Might be up their alley.
as he was saying, goblins ain't the smartest at making hocus pocus.
Did we get any visual of the smoke fires from the warehouses?
Yeah, I mean,
Letter smoke?
the smoke was reaching above
And
the wall.
in comparison, like, how would it look to Guntar in comparison to like a pillage fire?
Close.
Somewhat, but like the magnificent of it, like how would we be able to?
Not as widespread.
Okay.
It's localized.
Alright.
Whereas the Groll, when they
It
raid,
would be like a wave.
it would be essentially like a carpet bomb. It would be a terrestrial carpet bomb. This was a localized blast.
Player me is having some thoughts. Just want to put that
Sure.
out there.
We can explore those thoughts in tabletop.
Yeah, the player me is having some very interesting thoughts on all of this.
He also gave me some, if unfortunately these explosions hadn't happened, some intel on a rival goblin gang back in 5th.
What's the name of that?
It was just an abandoned warehouse.
You got the.
It's we know where we were, and I know where it was. So on a map I could go.
Oh, great. Okay.
Well, as we're proceeding through the tunnel, I think we have to see these explosions firsthand. But Boros, Azorius, now possibly the Demir, and we are a ragtag group that don't necessarily blend in.
Very.
Maybe next time lie and then go truth first, like truth after. Be like, oh my god, my wife's on the other side. I need to get
She's
there.
having a baby right now.
Yeah.
It exploded in her water broke.
And then one of us
Oh,
does
you
a
see my
rebel flag.
godson? Or my god, this is my god. He's going to be the godfather of the kid. And I walk up and I'm like, oh my god. See, that's how you do that.
Yeah, because the fucking elf is going to be the godfather.
I know it locks up
The
her godfather.
goddamn locks him
No
down.
one is so evil
Hey,
they would not
whoa,
allow this
species,
birth to happen.
shall we? But there's only one species on Ravnica you don't trust, and that's the Viashino. But that's a story for another day. Anyway,
Let's continue
are
on.
we at the door yet?
Yeah, let's continue on.
The wall is pretty
Really
thick, and it takes the majority of this conversation
Conversation.
to reach the other side. And if you open the door, and on the other side it's not immediate, but you can tell not far from where you guys are on the wall, maybe a few blocks in, it's chaos. There are Boros, flame fists, trying to pacify goblins. There are Azorius sphinxes and their masters, which is kind of backwards. But they are also there trying to mitigate as much of the chaos as possible. There is just to Guntar, it looks almost like
Looks like the last raid.
it looks like a Gruul raid, but this isn't. This is war. The two gangs, Krenko and the Shatter Gang, are now in open combat in Foundry Street. And it's not staying local. And that is where we are going to break for this week. Thank you all so much for coming out. Remember, drop your questions into chat, and our gremlins behind the screen will get us those questions. We'll be right back in 5-ish for Table Talk. So definitely get those questions ready. And we will talk about what just went down. See you in a bit. Internet fiend Didact, or Barton, as it were. And these are all the same people that were here before.
So one day we're gonna switch.
We lost lights, unfortunately. So that's why it looks all gloom and doom now. Spooky time.
This is actually smoke from Foundry Street.
You're missing a cat, I think.
Yeah, you're missing your cat, man.
Oh, yeah. The Duds forgot his own cat.
That's alright.
So, that was a game.
It was.
It was a game. So what are we thinking?
I'm in danger.
I suppose first off, MVP. Let's just get that out of the way, MVP.
You for your conversation with our friend.
I think it's most phenomena, right? Not person.
Yeah,
it's
inanimate. Yeah.
Inanimate.
The conversation itself, then.
I think just the. I like the fact that there's been tension building for 6-7 games now between these two sides, and now it's come to a head.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
The explosions.
Yeah, well, at the end we saw an all-out war that was teased all the way back towards that bar episode.
Mm-hmm.
That somebody wasn't here for.
I mean, hey, that's just something that happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just got frazzled.
Chip, thoughts, comments, concerns. What are we
scared.
thinking? You're scared?
I'm scared.
Like,
Honestly-
are you scared more than you were last week, or?
Yes.
Like, war scared or spoopy phantom scared?
Scared.
I'm ready to do good, die great.
I mean,
Going in blazing.
yes.
Soberness? Question mark?
Yes, but I'm
Dobro
still
does
scared as
believe in this
shit.
cause. This does seem like a moral cause.
And honestly, I'm like pre-thinking games ahead because of that conversation I had with Grosdrax about Niv's Dragon Days and like the whole Jace thing. Like, it got me thinking, like, dude, where are we going with this?
I think
Between Chon and now Grosdrax saying Dragon Days and him saying, oh yeah, I remember Blue Guy. Like, we have been dealing with some old-timey shit here. Like, you guys gonna remake the Living Pack? Like, what are you saying? We're just trying to find a goddamn goblin. You said, what?
Wait, what? Talking about, huh? Well, that, and, I mean, if you go back and look through that particular moment, I think there's a little bit more going on with just the war than I think we might have known somebody who started that. I think we might have already met him, personally.
Like in game or?
In game. I think he's a not so bad guy on the outside. Public figure, if you would.
AKA
In the Dragon
Black.
Council?
And is it Converter? Where have we seen that earlier in the game? Just questions for the audience.
Well, no, it wasn't a pyro converter.
It wasn't okay.
It wasn't a pyro converter. It was a igniter.
Okay,
It's
all right.
lighter.
It was
That's
basically a lighter.
Okay,
Well,
you say it. From what it sounded like, it was more of an specific device.
It's an is-it device, but it's something that's common.
Okay, cool.
It's a common mundane item that the is-it manufactures.
Will retract my last statement.
Yeah.
But still, the fact that the only goblin that would be considered smart enough to free Kranko with the Hocus Pocus would be Ginlak, who's on the Dragon Council.
Yeah, that gave me a question.
Pause.
Yeah,
Like, is the Dragon Council itself being split?
Or is the Dragon Council the one that wants to start the war?
Or
Yeah.
do we have some traitors in our own?
Mitch, yeah.
Because even, like, why was Ginlak, Gazgrak asking, why are they lying now? Were they trying to pull together?
Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, are we actually dealing with something where they're having us play this goose chase to cause issues?
Player question to the DM.
DM answer to the player. Good conversation.
The question I have is, from our note that we established from the drop date, do we have that time? Did we discover that time?
That you were supposed to tell me because
Yeah, let me double check my notes here. I
Yeah,
believe that note doesn't have anything of consequence in it outside
the
of
location.
location. Let's see.
Because I only got Smokehouse on Foundry Street.
Because that would be something to.
There was to be a drop sunset the day after his escape.
So last
So
night.
That the night of the explosions
Interesting.
was when those weapon drops were supposed to happen.
And it just so happens that there's a massive.
Because
war.
that is in the note. That is knowledge that I can divulge.
Yeah, because it would have been in the drop.
Yeah. So maybe he made some black powder for him. I don't know, but there's a lot of questions going through that I'll probably be running over my head the next couple days as a player. Goonsar just thinks the Viashino did it, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's just how he operates.
He doesn't trust those little things, those raptor toes they got.
Claws.
Yeah, the raptor claws. They don't like them.
I mean, I'm interested to see what's gonna happen as a player, like especially now that like shit's gone down, and it's just like.
After our spooky time in the bank, we're like,
Yeah.
oh thank God, back to normal, real
Are you
stuff.
gonna fight that guy at the guild house later? When you show up, be like, bro, what the fuck, man?
I probably will. Be like, dude.
I want to see that NPC talk.
I actually want that to go down. That sounds fun.
Just comes to be like, dude, the fuck?
Oh man, I didn't recognize you with your outfit on.
You're not wearing your weave clothes anymore.
What are you, just cosplaying? User.
But I'm sure, like, I know Varys is like, this is war. This is not good. I'm slightly scared.
Yeah, because he's a rookie.
And it's war.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a turf war.
I think the
Still,
only
it's
one who
war.
might be leaving that hatch excited is Gundar, I think.
Who, me?
Like,
No, leaving the hatch where we're at
Oh,
and stepping
leaving
into the war
is a
zone.
tunnel.
I think I'm excited. But I don't know about you guys.
I mean-
Arcadia is just like, I was not made for this.
So Dobrin doesn't have the faintest clue about the politics here, so he's still thinking that we're on the right side and that we should find Kranko and fight. him and
Whereas
his
the
forces
other three
to
people
create
from the
peace.
district are like, yikers.
Yeah,
I know enough goblin politics from my goblins that I'm like,
Something's not
Guntar
right.
sees a fight.
I mean, that's cool. I like that. That Guntar just sees a fight. He's like, oh, hell yes. I mean, if you want to think about it, like, so the road that this building is on, the blocks are the long way. Like, it's
it's
the
a New
long-
York block.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like we're looking. So you guys are looking at the long ways of the blocks, and it's 3 blocks in that you're starting to see this fighting.
So the way I see it, not to describe me if I'm wrong, but you know when you open up a comic book and it has the 3-tiered panorama, so it's like the main scene, but then there's the back scenes behind it and like fills in. You know what I'm talking about?
A little bit, yeah.
So that's kind of how I like envisioned it when we opened the door. We just saw this little like these two goblins fighting, but then you like open, investigate, murder. It's like the
Yeah,
panel
but
of the comic books.
it's a
Yeah,
ways. It's a ways away. That's like almost a quarter mile away.
Yeah, well, because we saw all this stuff as we were approaching. So
Yeah.
I have to give some.
Let's see. Let's dive into
What's the chat talking about?
what's chat saying?
There's a great suggestion of please let the fight between me and the guard go down in one of the games, and that it should be a bar fight at the guild bar, which I can only imagine just like it's the off-duty like bar that the cops go to. Like if you know cops,
Muffled bad reputation plays in the background.
like if you.
It's like it's the scene. It's like the fucking
Is that one
fight
shady?
scene. No, it's the fight scene from Shrek. as bad reputation plays in the background.
Oh, you're never a bad reputation.
So cues. We only have one this week. Come on, guys. You're letting me down. Lone Wandering Rogue. I am still curious about the deck Guntar had. Let me start over. I am still curious about the debt Guntar is still in based on winning his combat challenge last week. Because both Lindycat and I thought that he won, they would be free to go with no debt incurred. That was actually, we covered that top of stream. It was...
That's how Guntar interpreted it.
That's how Guntar interpreted it.
But Guntar is not lawful good.
Yeah, you are 50% correct. Guntar interpreted it that way.
Guntar thinks he's clear.
He thinks he is totally in the clear. But the way that our Death Pact Angel broker of the Orzhov said was payable upon death.
It was not specific to death from this combat.
Yeah.
It was just
Death.
a death.
A death. She expected to collect on the debt in that fight. But Guntar survived. His debt is not paid yet. That is the
point.
Yeah, that'll come back.
That'll go over well.
That'll go over well at some point.
That'll go over well. I'm sure. There's no
way that can go wrong.
I'm sure.
How do you feel about being a warlock of the Raven Queen?
Guntar had ideas. Guntar has a lot bigger plans than just his angry persona represents. And there's a lot of things that he will do for power.
You're acting like you just watched somebody score.
His swear counter's at 30.
God damn it.
Yeah, anytime it seems like I'm being super pedantic in my conversations with people, it's because I'm trying to pin down everything going on, because I've been burned by wishes that were under specific. And so the DM's like, yes, please give us the most general wish you have.
I mean,
then we end up on another plane because we want it, and then one person like kind of didn't live, and it was like, we all need to be safe and on the same plane.
I like where your head is at with that, but like, I mean, in terms of our game so far, there hasn't been anything where you need to be extremely specific yet.
Except for this whole soul is owned by...
Yeah, that's been the only real, like...
Lingering
bureaucracy kind of thing that you guys have really had to deal with. It's not like something that's being granted to you where you have to be super specific in the way that you get out of it. Because really the Orzhov are just a way of... Their whole thing is, we're going to figure out a way that there is... You're going to owe us at the end of the day.
Oh, Guntar's next life, it sounds like a really awesome campaign.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be...
It sounds like
you guys expect me to die. That's the crazy thing.
And yet everyone wants me to die.
I think you brought that upon yourself.
Like we talked about last week, player death doesn't come without reason. So...
And Guntar's too stubborn to die. He has some things he
He
needs to accomplish
And at
on
this
this
point,
plane before he gets to that point.
I'm a magic caster that's basically a light switch. That's how I am right now.
I mean,
Like,
you haven't found... I mean...
Yeah, Dobrin hasn't had a chance to really like stretch his actual fight prowess as a paladin.
I'm excited
Mainly
for
because
that.
morally, he's pretty opposed to just doing it at will. But if he thinks that there is a seriously good reason that is morally just, he will poke
That's
and poke and poke.
lawful. Very good, right? Lawful good.
Lawful neutral, I think
Lawful
it was.
I mean, lawful neutral at all.
Well, one thing about neutral characters is they can do good things because it's good, but they decide to do it because that's what they want to do.
I'm just gonna make a
Not
quick
because
comment.
It has to be good. Yeah.
Quick comment here. Rogue. If that was the case, I would have been a dead man about 3 weeks ago.
Could you elaborate?
He says-
I'm not looking at chat.
He says, i.e., player death comes when you push the DM too far and find the reason. Which,
I think
again,
that's-
I would like to reiterate, I would have been dead about 3 weeks ago.
I joke about killing you off. I haven't done it yet.
Don't.
It still might happen.
I don't joke about killing Guntar off. And I've almost done it twice.
He just put it here, cough, Varus, cough.
I mean, Guntar's almost died twice, and I don't threaten to kill him on a weekly basis.
Guntar does it to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he puts himself into those
It's
situations.
He's got to.
At least with
It's the only
RPG,
way.
I feel like fighting low guys, that's for plebes and Gutar.
That's who you delegate.
You
the
are the
fighting.
engineer of the group. I can understand that.
Guys, I can probably talk our way out of this. No,
You have talked your way out.
Harris
of
wants
this.
to talk. Fine, we're gonna die. Enjoy.
I need to stay alive just long enough to lay hands.
Yeah.
Can I ask what the counter roll was for my intimidation check?
It was just it was an insight.
You rolled
Was
so
it a
low.
high
I
roll?
know.
A high roll or?
It didn't
You
take.
should have taken
He
it.
did.
He rolled super low on his
6.
intimidation.
He
rolled
did.
a
He rolled a
6.
six.
Oh,
it
wow.
didn't take much
I
to insight
should-
the hell
I
out of
should-
that.
You could have just taken a flat check.
I should have gone with the fake roll,
Yeah.
which probably would have been better, but
Yeah.
because at that
Good,
point,
it's good to
it
be
would have been
honest.
20.
Well, and I think an intimidation would have elicited a more hostile response.
Fuck the guard. Guards suck.
I mean, if you want to burn that bridge,
Guards suck.
We could have maybe considered like paying them off or something.
Yeah. Line.
I'm also not a guard. I'm a patrol guy.
I
But
almost joked like,
hot
what
kettle.
about that thing that you had, whatever it was that I have no idea because I'm not is it.
Doesn't one go
The
from
museum.
guard to a
The
patrolman?
museum,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have really known what it was.
they wouldn't have known what to do with it.
Where
Gosh.
Brian
Could you have bluffed that it was really valuable?
They would have been. It's just a hunk of metal. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, she would have
I mean,
had to
so
roll
is
a very,
all
very
money
good
at the end of the
persuasion
day.
roll to
Like
get
that,
them to.
where Grograd.
Probably the easiest thing
Gosgrad.
to do it would have been to act like he apprehended me
Yeah.
and like
No,
try
that's
to
why
sneak our way
Brian
through that way.
Gosgrad with it.
Yeah, no, it made sense, especially with the other
Good
injured
start when you said
person,
no.
but I feel like we could have tried to
I
wager something.
I do have quite a bit of Xeno on me because I picked up that guy who Xeno's heat toss.
Oh, that's right.
So we really could have bribed the guard, but
You really could have. I mean, that could have gone down any number of ways, and I think you guys got out of it as best as you were going to.
wait! I have a smoke screen.
Yeah.
Just me talking to the guard, and then just all of a sudden smoke.
Oh, Dobrin.
Well, no,
I'm
that's
gonna
that
go
didn't
ahead
come
and pay
until you
my
guys were
one
already
Xeno.
being chased.
I know, but that would have been hilarious. That
It was
happened.
the
I'm up
so
to,
I popped it
16.
basically.
No.
Oh, well, okay, 15.
Yeah, you're at
15.
25.
Uh,
I thought you were at 26 HP.
no, I was talking about Xeno.
Oh, Xeno.
Because you threw 50.
I threw 50 to get us the audience.
Yeah, so
And then I had 5, and we got 10 to start, so I have 15.
you got
So
15.
I was hoping to get 16 because I want to bet, but
Yeah, no.
somebody don't pay their
Where I'm sitting here at 115. I'm like carrying all the money, all the rare stuff.
I'm sitting at 65, so.
Yeah.
It's all good. What's the money for?
Yeah, right? Like,
If you kill somebody, you take it off their corpse.
most
Yeah.
games don't even deal with money. Money is irrelevant in most D&D games.
Just a
I've
second,
seen.
I have to talk
Or
our way
play.
out of everything.
Money's irrelevant in D&D games, just like real life.
Yeah. Yeah, where your soul is the bargaining chip.
We bargain with real money, immortal souls.
Yep.
PC wise, I didn't know I was in I played that so to the guitar that I didn't know I was in a soul contract still.
Yeah, no,
Doing
and he still thinks he got out of it.
Yeah, guitar's kind of hard.
Okay.
Like, it's just like,
What?
he's so fucked.
Yeah.
It's fine. Eventually, when we go back, hopefully we get a couple levels.
Yeah.
That way that challenge rating of 14 doesn't look so scary.
Yeah, right.
Rogue says, and none of us seem to be very good at talking our way out of things. I think Arcadia is the only one that has
Arcadia is really the only one that can talk her way out of everything. She's the only one who actually has rolled well on persuasion.
Look, man, I just listen to people and pretend to care.
Which
Yeah.
sucks because I have a pretty high
I don't mean that as an
charisma.
actual,
Well,
actual saying.
It's like
Absolutely.
it just happens to be that the player doesn't know anything about Ravnica specifically.
Oh, I
So it's like I can't talk to the DM even if I roll really well, and I have rolled really well historically. But then I didn't know the F to say, so it was like,
I mean, so
So you just say hello.
it wasn't
I mean,
a nat 20, but
outside
it was
of
pretty
outside of this
high.
game, I play in another game with some people from not from Penny Arcade, but who follow Penny Arcade stuff. And I mean, a good way, like if you don't know what your character is saying verbatim, describe it. Like describe what they're trying to get at, and you're
like you'll notice I'll pause and be like, well, I mean this, so and then trying to get the right words.
yeah. So like if you notice, like when I was, when with Grosgrox, when he's explaining, how things are, what kind of events are kind of happening, or what sounds like, Demir things that, or Demir intervention kind of things. I use he says this, or he is saying something to this effect, but I'm not saying exactly what he is saying. Where, like with Dobrin, it can be, Dobrin would ask, about this, XYZ things in Ravnica, or pertaining to the current, what we're talking about, kind of thing. And usually that gets the point across that way you can still role play, but not know what your character's saying verbatim. I don't know, something that I do.
Yeah.
It probably also helps that we know each other so well that
Yeah, well,
for
and that's what I mean, as it feels kind of unfair that a lot of the NPC player interaction happens between us.
I'm sorry.
which and that's why I try to
Oh, I
back
thought you
off.
meant which one of us, and I was like,
No,
Oh.
and if you notice, I try to back off and let you guys take the lead occasionally.
Yeah, because while I love the interaction of Grogrox and Angelica and her Arcadia's father, it's
And the cook.
and the cook,
We're all asleep. That's not our fault.
yeah.
It's really to keep all sleeping.
At that point, I needed my divine sense back. Like I wasn't gonna wait for us to find a bed because it probably wasn't gonna happen.
Look, again, I just listen to people and pretend to give a shit.
yeah, right.
Again, not
But
trying to make a
I'll
statement
defer
on actual
to
cops.
updates now.
Yeah, I think we're this weekend, Anime Detour. It's fun stuff. Some things of note for Detour, Friday to Sunday. The Hyatt Regency, downtown Minneapolis.
1300 Nicollet Mall.
Thank you,
I have that address ingrained in my brain.
because you used to work there.
Yes.
We've heard that story 1,000 times. Detour, the tavern is room 4121. That will be Friday and Saturday nights.
8 to midnight.
8 to midnight. On Saturday night, midnight, Rivet City Spicy Fanfiction panel with Just announced now, panelist, that man. He is a dead man. He will die.
I will because I am
He's a
a
wuss.
bitch when it comes to spicy food.
Yeah, you are.
Which is gonna tie in perfectly for the fanfic that I'm gonna read, which I will tell you right now.
No spoilers.
I'm just telling you it's great.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
They don't get to have
They
that
don't
information.
get to know that information. That's only for us. Unfortunately, the four of us will not be at Detour this year, but we will
In
be at
spirit.
TunyCon later this summer, which will be super fun. Of other notes, Patreon.
Yeah.
We're at City Patreon, going live on Friday.
Hey,
So check that out. Keep your eyes glued to our social medias, and you will know exactly when you can start doing the Batman Tony Stark money toss. So we can play Spider-Man and Deadpool, just scoop it all up. Rivet City Office, a new show, is now in pre-production.
We'll talk about that, but the casting is happening, and I know some people in this room will be in the show playing parodies of some other people in this.
Fucking awesome.
Please.
Some people in this room will be playing parodies of other people.
Some people will be playing parodies of themselves.
I don't think so.
I hope.
Can I please?
I hope on everything that is holy that I'm playing the parody of Tritus.
So that cast is okay. So to put this out there, I'm not casting this. This is
This is all Zomboy.
This is all Zomboy. This is Zomboy's project. He is doing the casting. He is doing so.
Yikes.
If you want to be
Yikes.
playing a parody of somebody in this room, then you need to vote to get your submissions to him.
Jaeger's Island.
Because you were the second person.
Island.
Because you were the second person to say that. You're not the only one who wants to play me. I'm both happy and terrified.
Let me guess. The other one is Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. No, I'm not saying that I want. I'm not saying that I want to play you. I'm just saying. Let me guess. I'm playing.
No. Actually, you're playing a parody of somebody else in this room. Me.
That guy.
There should be a shot of you just like playing dead on the ground.
I mean,
I think you'll be played by a dead body.
yeah.
Just dug it up.
Yeah, you're just fucking mannequin.
It's a gravestone.
Just a headstone. Zomboy and Dinner new episode goes up on Friday, so it will be up during Detour. So posting schedule does not change. Everything will be up on its normal time. I know you were finalizing last week's episode of Bullet Time today.
Yes, that should be up.
So last week's episode should be up now, or
should be up now. I'll check the upload when I get home.
okay, it should be up now. If it is not, it will definitely be up by tomorrow. Otherwise, you can watch this. I don't know why you're watching Table Talk first, but you can watch this stream tomorrow on the Twitch channel until next week, essentially. Yeah, follow all of the Red City media channels. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter.
And now Patreon.
And now Patreon. Instagram.
Insert
You can
shameless
find
plug here.
all of those links.
The shameless plugs are there.
The shameless plugs are there. I believe they are being put into chat as we speak.
Yes, they are.
Shameless plugs. Shameful plugs. Shameful
Yes,
plugs.
shameful plugs.
Not
Like,
So
shameful
possible
plugs.
for you. They do like your voice acting.
They do like my voice.
Yes.
Also, guys, I have to lead you on a very horrible tradition for our DM. Can you all sing with me?
No!
yes.
No! I am not hearing this.
Happy birthday to you.
That's it. Kill the stream. Kill me.
to you.
I'm dead.
Happy
birthday,
Nope.
No.
It's not true.
Happy
birthday to
No.
you.
No.
Hey, Alexa, how do I turn off somebody else's stream?
Alexa, how do I stop somebody else's stream?
Alexa can't do that. Only Google can.
Hey, Google.
Hey Google, how do I end somebody else's stream?
Okay.
Gather Throng, thank you for hanging out with us for another Tuesday night. We will be back post Detour.
Amen.
It will be Rivet City PD post Detour.
Not
With
mentioned
another riveting
Hashtag
another riveting episode of Bulette Time.
There you go. Come next week. Shit's hitting the
Come
fan.
here next week.
There's
Yes.
explosions and war.
Would it be a war of the spark?
Not yet.